Welcome to the Four Brewers podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by
Jason fucking Harris,
Greg Nickel.
And we have, oh, my voices. Hang on one second.
Oh my God.
I'm going to start that over. Welcome to the Four Brewers podcast. My name is John Holzer, and as always, I'm joined by
Jason motherfucking Harris,
Greg Nickel.
And this week and going forward, we have a new member on the show. We've parted ways with Tim, and it was amicable, and it was time for him to move on. He's traveling the world. So,
Tim's too busy gallivanting around the world to deal with our bullshit.
He's actually living a full life, turns out. And, we're still sitting in a room drinking beer, talking to
Jealous
a
of Tim right now.
So we've had this person on the show before a couple times. I think a couple times remotely, one time in person, a long time ago. And that person is Joe Senegalia.
What's up?
How's it going, Joe?
Woo! What up, Joe?
What up? Please clap.
People may know Joe
Golf
from
clapped.
Joe's Arcade on YouTube. What else do you do, Joe? What's your other stuff?
That's all I do, actually,
That's
beer-wise. It's all YouTube, yeah. I used to have, like, beer stuff on my Instagram, and then I kind of went away from that, and it became, like, YouTube's really the only thing I got going on.
It's the bread and butter.
It is.
It's the malt
Yeah,
and the hops.
You're like slowly getting up there in subscribers too. Like, are you like you're at 6,000-ish or something like that?
Shoot.
that's
I think,
around
I don't know. It might have gone over, it might be over 8,000 now.
Oh, wow.
I just, dude, I never really like paid attention to that just because there's plenty of like channels like mine that have that many subscribers, but the views are low. So it's like, does it really matter how many people like hit subscribe and then forget to watch your videos? I don't know.
No, not really. And usually you'll hear big YouTubers talk about how 60% of their or 70% of their viewers are not subscribers anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of due to how YouTube works, like their algorithm. Because there's lots of stuff that pops up on my home feed and the Google, YouTube home feed, like their feed of what they want to show me. I kind of like it. It's like my favorite one of all the services out there. And there's channels that I watch their videos all the time. I'm not subscribed. It's just because I don't know I'm not subscribed, you know?
I don't like it, though, in that, like, there will be channels that I chose to subscribe to, but I haven't clicked on in a week. And they're like, no, you just want to see 14 other things related to the video you clicked on last week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want to see, like, yeah, maybe, but also, can you show me the channels I fucking picked?
Yeah, I think their idea there is like, you just subscribe to this person. You're excited to watch what they're making, right? So check it out. You can watch it nonstop for 4 hours. Like, no, it's cool, man. Like, I watched a video and I'll watch another video. I don't know, tomorrow maybe. Like, but your home feed is just clogged with their stuff for a couple days, and
It's all shorts. I watched one episode of Joe's Arcade last week, and then now it's all Joe's shorts.
And those shorts are like,
That's so funny.
those things. I think I wouldn't say they're hit or miss, but some
I think they're great.
like skyrocket in views. Like, Joe,
That's
you
fine.
started. Your
That's
wife
rad.
actually, I think, told you to start doing shorts, and so you're just chopping up old videos and making clips.
Yeah, she said I should go like do TikTok. I'm like, there's not a chance I'm doing TikTok because first of all, I have no idea how to do that. But
It's literally the exact same thing in a different app. You know,
Yeah.
have you used Reels? That's them copying TikTok. It's just all the TikTok videos 2 weeks later.
yeah.
Pretty
But
good.
I noticed that like all the shorts that I made out of macro logger videos get a ton of views and a ton of people like interacting with it. It's crazy.
Yeah, my biggest
good.
video when I was doing review videos is Heineken 00.
Yeah.
And it's a controversial video too, because I'm like, and my take on that beer was like, hey, this tastes like Heineken. Like, it just tastes like Heineken, but there's no alcohol.
People are
in
upset
it.
about
This is
that?
crazy. And they're like, "What do you mean it just tastes like beer?" I'm like, "Come on, like, will you chill for it? Like Heineken's garbage, and it's even more garbage now."
That's
Guys
why.
need to fucking
That's
get
why
a
we
life.
don't read the comments on YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's another thing Joe does is he's not only does he post videos, he's actually interactive and responds to people, and like he's a good YouTuber. Like he's doing
Cultivated
right
a
thing on
community
YouTube.
over there.
Yeah.
Those
Try-
fuckers-
I
those
try and
fucking
I try and
jackals
respond
over
to
there.
everyone.
And as a
Goddamn-
result, he gets some really tasty stuff and interesting stuff that
That is
maybe
true.
one day we'll get to try. So
We might be able to.
another cool thing with having
I
Joe
got
on the show,
14,
aside from
14
the
guys tell
YouTube
me I'm saying Genesi wrong.
It's Ganesi.
if you watch the video, you guys say it right the first time, and then Matt says that, and it goes
It
off the
devolves.
rails. So I forgot what I was going to say about Joe, but anyway, so yeah, Joe's on the show. We're pretty excited about it. Tim, it was it was fun having Tim on the show. He was on during a very weird time, like when COVID happened, and kind of worked out for him to be on a podcast where he could do it from home because we weren't going anywhere. So and his plan since he left Untapped, as far as I know, was to travel and do, because they have a son. Him and his wife have a son, and they homeschool, and part of their curriculum is actually going to places that he's learning about. And so COVID hit and they couldn't do that, and that was kind of a bummer. So now he's doing that. So Tim, we love you, and
Best of luck to you,
maybe
friend.
he'll be back on the show one day.
Anyway.
But anyway, moving on. So we are back. It's been a while since we did the show.
Been a while.
We said
And
that the last
eagle-eyed
time.
viewers may be saying, you guys have said you're back at least once before, maybe
We're
twice.
back.
I don't know.
This will be the
And
last show
twice.
ever.
But
Yeah, twice.
we really mean it this time.
That's going to be
yeah,
our shtick. Every show is going to be the last. No, we're not, it's not the last. We're back.
Yeah, every show's a comeback show.
We're just back.
It makes it exciting.
It's
you know?
always
Come
a
back.
comeback, dude. Yeah, it's like how all the
don't call it
YouTubers
a
are
comeback.
like, they fake that they're leaving YouTube. They'll be like, "Why I'm quitting YouTube?" They're like, "I'm not actually."
Yeah.
It's like
You
when
need an
Snoop Dogg
apology
went
video.
smokeless.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That pissed me off so bad.
Well, technically, he said he's given up the smoke, and turns out it's for a fire pit.
I fucking
And,
she
Yeah,
get
that
punched in
annoyed
the
me
nuts
too.
for that one.
I thought he was going to get
all
into
these
like vapes or
conspiracy
something.
theories.
Yeah, I
These
thought it was a
conspiracy
Sizzle.
vape,
theories.
a vape angle, or like edibles,
Or
some
edibles,
shit.
yeah.
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 So we gonna talk some beer news?
Yeah.
Well,
What are we
before
talking
we get
about?
into beer news, just real quick. So the new format going forward is we're gonna release every other week, and that's for two reasons. Maybe more than two, but the two that come to my mind are one, I don't like editing the podcast. It's kind of a boring thing to do.
Number one,
So
I'm lazy.
right now we're going to ease back into doing it twice a month.
Just
And the
ease
other
back
reason
in,
is-
baby.
Yeah, I have to work. I'm on call for work at least one weekend per month. So I guess we could do 3 shows per month, but whatever. I like the idea of doing a show every other week. So moving forward, that's how it's going to go. Our next stream is on the 26th, I believe.
Considering
May?
we're on an every other year schedule right now, I think every
Yeah.
other week's a significant improvement.
It's a great improvement. So yeah, I think that's going to be more manageable for me. We're going to be making some changes with our Patreon setup too. I haven't done that yet. We're not going to get into details about it, but we are going to start doing more Patreon stuff. The most notable thing we're going to do is since we decided to come back, we decided that we're going to start having like a monthly planning meeting. So we're just not going into these shows blind and, without any kind of, I don't know, focus on something. Like this week we're doing Green Cheek beers. So we went out and got all the same beers. So we have the same beers. We're not doing 16 beers on the show. So
I think the idea is we want to get a bit closer to the studio experience, even though we're still doing the show remote, right? So I think we talked and we realized that it had gotten a little chaotic when we were all fucking, goddamn, Greg's got like a goddamn light flashing out of fucking throwing me, you son of a bitch. But we
party.
realized this show had gotten kind of chaotic with all of us just kind of drinking whatever random shit we found last minute. And so we're trying to get back to a little bit more of a format, a little bit more consistent, something easier to follow for y'all, and hopefully should be a better show for everybody. But let us know what y'all think. So that's it.
Yeah. So, and going back to the Patreon thing, with this monthly planning meeting, I think one of the things we're thinking about doing is making that live stream open to our supporters on Patreon, so they can, if they want to just, it's kind of like getting a third show, except where it's not going to be structured the same way. It's going to be,
or you can influence what we do on the show. You could
I was
say,
gonna
hey,
say, if
you guys should do this.
Yeah, if you want to send us beers and say I can do this, and you can, hop on and do whatever. And I think if I was, supporting a show on Patreon, I think that'd be pretty cool to see the behind the scenes thing. It's like nothing special. It's just what we're doing now, except a little different, but still, it's like getting the third show.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Jason, we got some news items to talk about because this is part of our new.
Are we drinking a beer now, or what? I forgot.
Well, I opened the beer. We're not talking about the beers yet. I opened the wheat beer that we're going to be doing. So if you guys want to crack that open,
we're highlighting Green Cheek today. Don't guzzle the wheat. We can kind of talk about it a little bit. We're gonna do the news up top. We're doing a format now, guys. We're trying. The main thing I saw in the beer news, there's a bit about Ballast Point. We're gonna do, spoiler alert, Ballast Point's gonna be our next show, so we'll talk about that then. But World Beer Cup, is there anything in there that you guys thought was interesting? I see that in our list.
That was a while ago.
My beer exploded on me. Yeah, World Beer Cup. I mean, I only track the Orange County stuff, but we generally here in Orange County win like 12 to 14 medals or something like that. And then I think we got like 13 or 14. There's always like it's either like a big IPA year, which if you count Long Beach somewhere in there, like ISM got gold for West Coast IPA. Everywhere got their first medal, I think a bronze for Hoppy Lager, as well as Green Cheek in the same category. So two breweries right down the street from each other, doubling up with North Park down San Diego for Hoppy Lager. So it was like what I love about it is to see West Coast IPA firmly planted here in Southern California. There's nobody that's going to take that fucking spot.
What I've learned talking to people, like I have a beer chat that, is people from around the country, a lot of Chicago people, a lot of everything there. And as it turns out, good West Coast IPA is hard to come by if you're off the West Coast.
Yeah, especially in Europe. Oh my God.
But like people in like the Midwest and stuff, they're saying, yeah, you just can't come by like good clear IPA. It's like starting to come back, but the Hazy Boys really took over out there. So sorry for that, everybody. That sucks.
We need to get more collabs with these like Midwest breweries going on with SoCal breweries to kind of, I don't know, spread the goodwill of West Coast IPA. And because it's, I mean, and I'm not saying it's easy to make, but it's not like it's this mysterious beer to brew well. Like, I mean,
I would argue that a good West Coast IPA is very rare. So it's unusual. You go to a random small brewery and like odds are their IPA suck shit.
Not only that, but I think the brewing process of West Coast IPA changes every year. So I think the dudes that usually win it, like Bob from Highland Park and Evan Price and Casey McNair, I think they're all in a chat group and they all talk about like what are the like tiny micro switches that you can pull when you're brewing West Coast IPA. And I think they all sort of convene and do their own thing because they seem to strike magic every time they brew it. It's no like secret. Like,
so you mean like guys, it's evolving, like they're trying new techniques to see what works and what doesn't. And
what hop farmers, what malt, what yeast, how to treat things. It's definitely science.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not saying it's easy, but I mean, if you're a brewery that's open, I think you should at least have one good IPA. Maybe not necessarily a West Coast IPA, but something that's not malt heavy and it's just a good drinking IPA. But
preach, brother.
Yeah, this year on the World Beer Cup, they didn't have the. They usually give out like plaques or something for World Beer Cup, where GABF is like metal, and they didn't have the plaques made. I don't know if this was on purpose or what, but if you won, you got a sash to wear, which was.
I mean, the Brewers Association. I think the Brewers Association is going through some tough times. I know there's issues with the National Homebrewers Association as well, with them taking away, like, Homebrew Con is now going to be part of GABF, and that's like,
or is it part of
like
CBC?
Pissed.
No, it's GABF. Yeah, that's
GABF. Right. Yeah, they're going to have like special hall for homebrewers and stuff like that, and that's just like, dude, the homebrewers go to homebrewer things because it's homebrewery. They don't want to be part of GABF.
Yeah,
and yeah.
Homebrew stuff it's still beer, but it's like completely different from the professional thing.
Right.
I mean, things get really experimental, and I don't know. It's a bunch of like science geeks getting together to be nerds. Where GABF is, you're just it's generally just fans of beer,
dude. I mean, last weekend I went to the Southern California Homebrewers big party, basically. Yeah, festival. It's like we take over the campground. There's an entire campground full of homebrewers and homebrew clubs, and some amazing beers. Like I had some good lambics from the Society of Barley Engineers down in San Diego. Those guys are always just killing it. It's like the same thing you can get at a professional brewery, but there's just like, there's some dude who just makes the shit in his backyard, and it's amazing.
Yeah, this is the third year where I bought a ticket and didn't go. So
I think
luckily it's $50.
I think nowadays too, like there's much less experimentation out in the market anymore, right?
Correct.
Especially with packaged beer. So I think more than 5 years ago, I think homebrewing has a place because the market has become very not rigid, I guess, but it's very defined, and there's certain styles that are what is being sold everywhere. And
you got hoppy. They're like most beer boards at just any good brewery has like a hoppy board, and then they have like a lager board, and then maybe a stout or two, and that's.
I think Highland Park has light, hoppy, hazy, dark.
Yeah, and that's great.
That's their four categories.
Yeah. But most of it, like all the hoppies, all IPA. Most of the lagers are like some sort of hoppy lager. It's like if you're not into hops, like my wife, she's like, "What do you have that's like not hoppy?" And sometimes even like the stout is like way over the top.
At least with Highland Park, they have light stuff. They're next to Dodger Stadium. They have multiple audiences they cater to.
Yep.
But the other thing we were talking about, we just saw Greg posted the top 50 breweries in the U.S. last year.
Oh, baby.
And this is we were digging into this list, and it's kind of fun and kind of weird, especially because we haven't looked at it in a while. Have you seen this list, Joe?
I was looking at it this morning, and half of it didn't make any sense to me.
It's hard. You had to translate it because I looked up a 10 years ago list.
Good.
And what's funny is that one doesn't have any like holding companies or LLCs or anything up there.
Right.
They're all brands. They're all singular brands, and like the top 3 are kind of the same ones. But it gets really weird. Some of the ones from 10 years ago, they're gone, I think, because buyouts. Lagunitas isn't on there anymore. New Belgium isn't on there anymore. Bell's isn't on there anymore. Deschutes was on there 10 years ago, and they're not now. They weren't bought, though, were they? I think maybe they just dropped in volume. They're on the new one. They're just lower.
Okay. Yeah, I see him number 12.
Stone is gone. I mean, Stone's owned by Sapporo, right? So they're gone.
Yep. The biggest shock for me was to see Boston Beer Company at number 2.
Yep.
You know what? That's actually why I looked up 10 years ago, because I thought they were always number 1, but Yuengling was number 1 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Boston beer is not just the beer; it's the seltzers and don't they do cocktail things now? And I mean,
they do hard teas, and I think they do more of that than they do beer anymore. But
What else is Yuengling though? Because Yuengling doesn't even come out this way. Like it doesn't go how far.
That's just
west
how
does it
far
stop?
they sell on the East
They're
Coast.
just
I think
on the eastern seaboard, basically,
and they're
that's
just
it.
how are they number one?
It's
massive.
It's everywhere. It's on tap everywhere. It's like
Yeah.
in every grocery store.
Yeah, they're
It's
just the
crazy.
default
People
beer
love
for
it.
a bunch of really populated areas, and they're still independent. So,
let's see. Other notable things on here is number 10 is Athletic Brewing Company. I think that's the first time I've seen a NA beer maker somewhere in the top 50.
They're
And
full
also-
NA, right?
yeah, they're
dude.
only NA, and they're selling so much NA volume that they're the 10th highest selling brewery. Like they're right above New Glarus. They're above Deschutes.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Allagash, Harpoon, Three Floyds, Near Gasset.
Yeah.
Number
Another
22.
shock. Like number 42 is Lost Coast Brewing, like from Eureka, California.
I don't even know the last time I
What?
had a West Coast beer.
That's like old Rasputin, right?
Yeah,
No,
I
that's
think so,
North
yeah.
Coast, dude.
North
North
Coast.
Coast is
North
Great
Coast.
White.
Lost Coast
that's
is
right.
Shark, isn't it? Shark.
Great
Shark
White.
Bite.
Great
White,
White.
yeah.
There you go.
Downtown
That's their
Brown.
big one. Downtown Brown, they had I don't know. I think their business is mainly out of California. I think they go out.
Kings and Convicts, number 30. That's where they bought.
Ballast
They own
Point.
Ballast Point, right?
But who's Pittsburgh Brewing? How come I don't know who that is? Or it's not ringing bells. That's number 21.
That's a good
I'm
question.
not sure.
Pittsburgh Brewing? I don't even know who that is.
That's pretty big.
Is it?
Never heard of them. Never had their beer.
They make Iron City. I've seen that
okay.
beer.
I've
but
seen Iron
again,
City.
I think that's
Okay.
one of those regional ones. It's just really, really popular in a region.
Yeah.
I've had
So-
some Harpoon.
So what's weird is your top three are Yuengling, Boston Beer, and Sierra, like they were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Your number 4 is Duvel Mortgott, and then this is where you get into like the rest of the top 10 is kind of conglomerates.
Yeah.
So like Duvel Mortgott, that one is probably pretty familiar to people who listen to our show.
So I thought they were like. I mean, I understand that they own Firestone and
Boulevard Omdong.
and stuff like that, but they're saying that they're a U.S. craft brewing company. And it says they're out of Paso Robles. So
Well, that's where they brew beer.
yeah, but they're Duvel. They're from Europe. Like that's
Right, but they don't post where the corporate office is. They post where the beer is made.
Duvel's. I don't know. That one's confusing because Duvel's not made in Southern California. Like
Right.
Firestone
Yeah.
beers are made, and some Boulevard beers and whatever across the country. But
You're going to note on every one of these that the city is the location of the brewery that is part of the conglomerate, right?
That's
So
true, yeah.
it's
Okay.
Paso Robles, which is where Firestone is, Kansas City, which is where Boulevard is, and Cooperstown, New York, which is where Allagash is. That's where the beer
you're
is
right.
made.
I didn't see the Kansas City and Cooperstown. Like
Yeah.
Tilray is Atlanta, San Diego, Bend, Seattle. Okay. And
So
it's all
some of
new.
these, for people who haven't seen them, I went and looked all this shit up earlier today. So Gambrinus is number 5. Didn't mean anything to me. That is Shiner and Trumer, which I didn't realize were the same company, but they're getting the
In the
number
US.
5.
Yeah.
They're getting to number 5 with just those two, which is
That's
pretty
a lot
impressive. Tilray Beer Brands is a weird combination of breweries. It's Sweetwater, Breckenridge, Green Flash, Alpine, Montauk, Shock Top, which I think they bought from AB, Blue Point, Red Hook, 10 Barrel, and Widmer Brothers. So it's
I
this
think
weird.
Shock Top, Blue Point, Red Hook, 10 Barrel, and Widmer. That was recently in the news because AB shed those brands, and that's where they picked them up.
Well, and they're
so
they
10
used to be
Barrel is
part
now
of
not is craft beer.
a lot of those
according
used to be part of the Craft Brewing Alliance.
Yeah.
CBA was the name of the company, and which is gone. And another weird note that I saw in here is a former member of that, Kona, is on here as an independent brewery at number 32.
That's weird.
So Kona was part of CBA for a long time, and I guess they're spun off again. So just fun, weird brewery ownership. Artisanal Brewing Ventures. Can anyone guess? We have Downingtown, Pennsylvania, Lakewood, New York, and Brooklyn, New York. Dude, can anyone guess what breweries those are?
Well, you put them in the dock.
Brooklyn Brewing?
No, Brooklyn's its own thing. They're
Victory,
they're the next
Southern
one
tier,
down.
Victory, Southern Tier, and 6 Point.
Yep. Victory 17,
There you
6
go.
point.
6 point. Man, I haven't had any of their beer in forever.
Same.
Right?
That was
You're
they
none
were the ones who made like resin and all that,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They were on the hype
You're
train
none
for
the
like a
richer,
year.
Joe. None the richer.
You've not missed much.
6 point, none the richer. Monster Brewing. This is a new entrant on here.
Yeah, dude.
And kind of a depressing one. So
Number 9.
Number 9 is Monster Brewing. Monster Beverage bought Canarchy, and Canarchy was the owners of Oscar Blues, Cigar City, Deep Ellum, Wasatch, Perrin Brewing, Squatters. I think Three Weavers got spun off in that mix. I don't think
They
part
left.
of it
They
anymore.
bought
actually.
themselves out.
Yeah. And the saddest part when I was researching that is I found a press release and it says Monster, which bought Canarchy in early 2022, said that its relatively newly released Monster branded malt beverage offerings, the Beast Unleashed and Nasty Beast Hard Tea, are the portfolio's top sellers.
Sounds like a cheap beer corner video, Jason.
Fuck yeah, we're gonna drink Nasty Beast. Oh, I'm a nasty beast. When
I mean, that was
I
your
read
that was
their I read the FAQ on those. They're like, do they have caffeine or taurine or no? You're silly.
the Nasty Beast. That was your nickname in high school, wasn't it, Jason?
Still is. Yeah, that one. When I saw Monster Brewing, it's just like, that's just gross.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I got nothing against Monster. I drink Monster drinks, the ones with no sugar, but they're fine for what they are. But when you put brewing after it, it sounds gross. Like,
it's a little disheartening to see. So, like, if you follow like the story of American beer, it was like there was a bajillion breweries, and then everyone consolidated, and then we had 3. And like that's kind of what happens to like every industry is that they all consolidate till it's 3 companies. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, we're watching that happen again.
Pretty much.
Gordon Biersch is 14. I think that's just by making store brand beer.
Yeah, Costco.
They make the Trader Joe's, like
Kirkland.
all the Trader Joe's like German stuff is Gordon Biersch.
Yeah. Kirkland, the big dad packs too, the cases.
I think similarly, Matt Brewing is the same sort of thing. They're like a contract brewery. Not Matt Becker. I don't think he's involved.
He's like, Matt's doing pretty good for himself. He's number 13 now.
Holy shit.
What is that? Like, what are they
talking about like these foreign companies that own American breweries and technically brew out of America? I'm surprised Stone isn't on here because Sapporo is foreign owned and Stone's usually on this list. So you think Sapporo would be on the list because they're technically in San Diego.
Yeah, look, man, they bend the rules all the time for this shit.
I don't know what the actual rules are these days. Like what? I don't even know, man.
I guess because
it's good.
You know what? Because Sapporo is not craft technically, where these other big
it has to be a craft brewer.
Well, I mean, Duvel is a traditional brewery, so they're not like a macro brewery, I guess, is the distinction they're using. Maybe
they're hand wavy about Duvel, like, you know, everyone loves Duvel. They're craft, they're fine. And I kind of go along with that too, because they seem like a good company and they own some good brands.
It's a family-owned brand.
We don't need to go through all of them, but a couple other highlights. Georgetown at number 16. As far as I know, they only sell beer in the Northwest. And they're everywhere up there, and they're good. I like them a lot. But they only sell beer in like Washington and Oregon.
Never
had Georgetown like Manny's and all that?
Yeah, Manny's Pale Ale.
Love that beer.
That shit's good.
That beer is so good.
Get that shit on the show, man.
Three Floyds in here at number 20, hanging tight. Being, you know, they seem like one of the few old school breweries that's relatively unchanged these days, unscathed. But maybe Midwest people, if I'm wrong, fucking I don't know, put in the comments or some shit. Craft Ohana, which is just Modern Times and Maui, and then some. Almost every one of these conglomerates also has like seltzer and cider brands and shit, but I didn't list it.
Rogue Ales is here at number 44, Jason.
That sucks.
I didn't know Rogue was still around.
No, they're still pretty prominent in the Northwest when you go up there.
I was hoping for the classic fuck Rogue. So
yeah, they fucking suck.
Weren't they the ones that made the Sriracha beer?
Oh yeah,
in the big red bottle.
They did.
Yeah, they did. Man,
They did.
The Voodoo Donuts beer.
That happened.
That was a thing.
There was a really interesting one I found. There's this weird conglomerate with like a real generic name, U.S. Beverage LLC, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And they have a weird eclectic mix of like, so Czechvar, Moosehead, Tiger, Uinta, the
Uinta,
Utah,
yeah.
Birra Moretti, like the Italian.
Okay,
yeah.
And this one that I just threw on here because it's Cerveza Tropic Cristal, not Cerveza Cristal. I don't think it's the same Cerveza Cristal, but I just wanted to reference that because
I love that.
Pizza Port number 47.
Hey,
Fuck yeah.
Pizza Port.
whoop.
Hey, hey, Abondanza.
And yeah, it's pretty much all that's interesting on here. I don't know.
Didn't you know anybody at Pizza Port?
Coronado 48 though. I mean, that's something.
Definitely. Just behind Pizza Port.
They're my number 2 buy behind. I think I'm single-handedly putting both of those breweries.
Seriously, right? I buy so much fucking Swami.
So much. It's always in the fridge.
12 packs of 12-ounce cans, dude. It's the best thing that ever happened.
I haven't seen that in any stores yet. Jason, I think, has. But,
yeah, they got it at the Stater Brothers now.
My spouse had it.
I got burned on my first one. Like I had like 2 low fill cans, and they were all like a bunch of them like leaked. They had like sticky beer on the outside and shit. But they seem to have fixed it. My theory is I read that they are now canning out of the old Lost Abbey facility, and I think they had some growing pains.
Don't they can a bunch at Bressy Ranch too?
Yeah, they do, but they're apparently also canning at Lost Abbey. So I think maybe that's where they're doing the 12-ounce stuff. That's my theory, because they never did 12-ounce out of Bressy before. But
yeah, Lost Abbey is now canning double IPA or IPA, which is
crazy.
Weird
is that Mongo or what is it?
No, you know what's funny is Mongo is being sold by Pizza Port now.
All right.
Yeah, it's all weird. It's all wild. The beer business is crazy.
Is Pizza Port brewing all of the port beer now?
I think they just kind of discontinued that brand, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, Mongo was port though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but now you can get Mongo in Pizza Port cans.
Pizza Port. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
But I was at the store the other day and I was like, where can I buy a hop refresher at?
The Lagunitas hop refresher?
No. It's the hop. What's the one from Lost Abbey?
The hop freshener,
brand,
or whatever.
Hop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, that's the weed reference one.
Yeah, hop.
No, because they had like dank and piney
spin-off.
and like light and citrusy.
Yeah,
or
dank and sticky.
What happened?
The hop concept.
Hop concept.
That's what it was.
I was looking for some hop concept, and I could not find hop concept.
That concept failed.
That was a weird move.
That was a weird time.
They did all this stuff to try to firewall out that Lost Abbey made this beer and Lost Abbey made that beer, and it's just like, just call it all Lost Abbey, dude. It's fine. No one's gonna get mad if you don't have.
It's like a band's like 4th album. It's like what? I don't know. Let's just skip this one. Let's go back to Radiohead's 2nd album.
Yeah, Lost Abbey's still a thing though. We're operating out of.
They have a little spot.
Mother Earth. Yeah.
They also have a little tasting room
Lost
that's. It's my son has lessons out in it's not San Marcos, it's something Hills, whatever. There's a little tasting room up there.
Cool. Let's go
Is
check
that
it out.
The church themed one or whatever. Okay.
I'm always turned off by Mother Earth because I fucking hate Cali Creamin'. It's like my least favorite beer.
We were gonna go there. Me and my dad and Yvonne went to Green Cheek in Oceanside for lunch when he was down here at the beginning of April. And once we got on the 78, it was already like 4 o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, let's just go home. Like, I mean, Lost Abbey, I love the Lost Abbey, but I was like, I don't really care about Mother Earth, and if I'm just going for the Lost Abbey, I'm gonna have like one sour beer.
Wow, John, we all have to live on Mother Earth. Maybe you should care.
Yeah, I think one of the Lost Abbey ones is called like the Confessional or something like that. Yeah. And hopefully when we ever go, they have like an actual confessional where Tommy Arthur is just behind it in a priest outfit. And you'd be like, oh, Tommy Arthur, I have sinned. I have 12 packs of Coors Banquet in my fridge at all times. And then he would be like, okay, just drink all 12 and we absolve you of your sins. Thanks, Tommy Arthur.
Yeah. The craft brewing scene is not what it was when we started this show. It's so like if he would have shown
It's
me this
different,
like,
right?
years ago, it would have been like, oh my god, that's weird.
And I'm so glad we're talking
Monster
about this
Brewing.
because, good God.
Anyway,
And
all right. So
times they are a changing.
Moving on to the actual topic of the show, we are doing beers from Green Cheek Beer Company. They recently opened a new spot in Oceanside that used to be Bagby Brewing. And I found out, actually, speaking of me and my dad and Yvonne going down there, I saw Jeff Bagby there brewing. And
he's the brewer.
He just works for Green Cheek now. So
Sure
I saw him there. I saw Jeff's wife there. And I'm like, that's cool. But I'm like, this is weird. Like, they're just hanging out. Or no, they're working. And so that's so Jeff Bagby's brewing for Green Cheek. Being
the boss sucks sometimes.
I think that's what I thought. I'm like, maybe they're just like, fuck this, it's too much stress. Jeff just wants to make beer. That's what he's really good at. Not that he's bad at running a business, but he's really good at making beer. So let's just, and I could totally see Evan and Brian, the owners of Green Cheek, going, Jeff, please, like, we'll pay you well to stay on. Like, you deserve to work at this place still if you still want to do it. Like, and it's just I don't know. That's the warm fuzzy part of me that's thinking that, but it's a great business move.
It's damn true.
And do we want to give like a quick rundown? Like, since we're doing a brewery highlight, like we're doing Green Cheek today.
We all have the same beers.
Do we want to give like a quick rundown of Green Cheek, like for people who don't know? People tuning in, maybe people who aren't local or whatever. Green Cheek's in their main location is in Orange, right, Greg? The primary.
Yeah, so they've they started in Orange. They took over Valiant Brewing Spot, and they quickly branched out to Costa Mesa, where they took over Barley Forge's spot. And then they took over like a dive bar.
You're gonna sense a pattern here.
Yeah, they took over a dive bar in Sunset Beach, which is like in between Long Beach and Huntington. So it's a little sleepy seaside town there. And then recently Bagby. So they've never built a brewery. I think they've done some changes to the breweries, but not like anything super major. It's just like buying good spots that make good beer. And what's cool, I was interviewing Evan. You'll hear some sound clips. They have certain locations for certain beer styles. So like the Orange one is like good at hazy IPA. Obviously Bagby's the lager house, and the Costa Mesa one brews pretty much everything else.
And at Green Cheek Oceanside, you can also still get Bagby Brewing beers. Like they're more traditional beers. It's so far.
Oh, cool.
He's going to branch out and do, IPAs, but that'd be kind of weird having a Bagby IPA compete with all the awesome IPAs at Green Cheek that he's probably brewing. So,
but it has been a nice silver lining as some of the, more the struggling local craft breweries. I mean, Barley Forge, longtime listeners may remember we actually did a show with them 100 years ago. And when these breweries are shutting down, it's a bit heartening when we see people like Green Cheek move in and take over, because you're like, oh, well, that's still going to be a brewery and it's good people. They're going to be making good beer. So it's good news. And yeah, Green Cheek's great.
So yeah, I thought it would be a good first show because me and Joe, I think except for Jason, Jason probably lives the same distance from Orange that I am from Oceanside. So we're all pretty much close to a Green Cheek location. And it made sense in these beers, and they're cranking out beers. I think weekly they have new releases, and it's like either
it's insane how much beer they are putting out.
Yeah, and personally speaking, I have been to Green Cheek Oceanside 6 times, and every time I go, I spend a lot of money, like at least over $150.
Easy
food and beers, and then beers to go. Like,
write it off.
And when I went there, Evan and Brian were there, and Brian, he bought me a beer. It was their opening weekend, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." He bought me a beer, and then I ended up again the first weekend I was there. I think I spent $250 just on merch, food, beer. Joe was there for that opening weekend, so we hung out a super long time and had a lot of beers, and
we've hung out there a couple times.
Yeah, and the last one, I think the second time we went there, you guys just were walking. You were going there, but you walked by, and we were sitting on that outside part. I'm like, "Hey, it's Joe. Cool." So,
I'm like, "Hey, John's here. What's happening?"
Yeah, I
would join you. I would join you guys there, but I have to drive past 2 Green Cheeks to get to Oceanside.
Yeah, because the first time I went to Bagby, I think I was with Greg. We went with Greg and his wife. Aaron.
Oh, a long time ago. Yeah.
Then
It's just it's such a rad space.
Yeah, the place is an old car dealership that they converted, so it's big. It's got multiple areas like indoor and outdoor.
It's got an upstairs
areas.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So we got I think a pretty I wouldn't say diverse, but it's not all hazies. So we do have hazy on the show though. But we got a good spread of beers here. First beer we're doing this is called Here We Are. It's a wheat ale. It's Belgian made with raw wheat, Pilsner malt, old-fashioned oats, and noble hops.
It is like Greg said,
he did some interviews with Evan Price when he picked up his beers, and we happen to have those interviews, so we're going to play this right now. And if you guys want me to stop it or whatever, I can stop it, and you can comment, or we can just listen to it straight through. Feel free.
I'll just yell over it.
So here is Evan talking about the first beer we're doing, which is called Here We Are.
All right, last but not least, we have Here We Are.
Yeah.
What is this beer?
So this is a Belgian white that we make.
Oh, Belgian white, okay.
And we go through like a little bit more work than we probably should on this beer, but it's like it's a tough beer to mash where we have over 40% unmalted wheat, or maybe even 50%. I'm totally blanking off the top of my head. That unmalted wheat is if you know as a home brewer,
that's
a total asshole in every way to work with. And so we've got a lot of unmalted wheat. That's what I think it's 40% unmalted wheat, about 10% rolled oats, and then the rest is really pale Pilsner malt.
Crazy little mash bill for you guys.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I got to brew this today.
Yeah.
If you're the brewer on deck, you're like, fuck, man.
That's where enzymes kind of help. We use,
break down a little bit.
Beta glucanase to help that water, and that ends up being a little bit easier for the brewers throughout that addition. And then after that, we make our own dried orange peel for this beer, and so a bunch of fresh local oranges.
So you dehydrate your own oranges and shit, and then you just orange peel it.
Yeah, so
cocktail orange.
Yeah, so it's all the oranges that get zested, and then we lay out all the zest on tables, and then it takes about 3 days, and then we're taking all of that, we're grinding it up, and we're throwing it in the fermenter right after the end of the fermentation.
Okay.
Along with coriander, and so and then we can kind of dial in the beer this way too, because there's a bunch of ester character from that Belgian yeast.
Right.
And then we're trying to
different yeast than you have in town. So you prop it up and okay.
And then we end up in a spot that's fun too, because we can kind of dial in how much coriander and orange and try to find that right spot.
Right.
And every time we kind of fuck with it a little bit more, but it's a lot of fun.
All right. So I didn't know that they actually made their own dehydrated zesting orange peel. That's pretty.
That's a lot of work.
That's straight up. That's a craft beer right there, man.
A lot of the beginning of this show was us lamenting consolidation and beer conglomerates and whatever, and stuff like that, where they're just like, yeah, no, we made our own dehydrated orange peel. Could I easily, cheaply buy that from a supplier? Yes,
sure.
We're going to make our own because maybe we can do something better, and that rules. That's why we're here.
And it comes through the beer in such a nice, soft, pillowy way. It's not over the top orange. It's not over the top coriander. It's sort of everything plays off. Everything sort of balances off each other, right?
I think the coriander is a bit more present than it would be in a Hoegaarden or your traditional Belgian wit, or the more popular commercial examples. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more coriander on this than I would, and maybe a little bit less orange peel. I'm not getting a ton of orangey flavor, although I think a lot of the modern interpretations of this style amp up the orange because they're trying to go for that the Blue Moon shock top thing that was really popular 10 years ago.
God, I hate Blue Moon. It's such a bad beer. I know it's a great beer, and it's beloved, but for me, I hate it. It's just
so sweet.
The NA one's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't get a whole lot of the coriander. I think it's all very balanced for me. I mean, if anything, the Belgian yeast character is what's definitely. I mean, obviously, that's what you're going to look for in a Belgian wit. But it's it's over the top for me. Like it's great, and where everything else, I think it's just like a supporting kind of foundation for the yeast, or a complement to the yeast, maybe. But nothing really is punching me more than the yeast. It's pretty balanced between like the orange
drinkability. What do you think, Joe?
Oh, it's super drinkable. I was gonna say the crazy thing about these cans, it's a little bit warm out in my garage, so my beer is about room temperature now. From the time I opened it, it's pretty orange forward now that it's gotten warm. I really, really like it. I didn't have any expectation of this beer going into this just because it's a style I don't really drink. And as soon as I open it and drink, I'm like, holy smokes, that is freaking delicious.
Yeah, I would say I get the orange more on the nose than anything else. Like it really pops on the nose.
Why do you guys think wheat beer had such a dramatic collapse?
I don't know, because every time I drink a wheat beer, I'm like, dude, I love wheat beers.
10 years ago, it was in let's say 15 years ago, like in 2010, if you were like, hey, I'm new to beer, like what should I try? Everyone would be like, get a wheat beer, or with some wheat beer. It would be try a Blue Moon, try a Pyramid, it would be a wheat beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like wheat beer has really just fallen out.
It's like hard to find.
There were brands that made their whole brand off of wheat. Right?
Wheat beer is just turned into mass market hazy IPA. That's all. It's just got a different label on it, you know. That's basically what Mind Haze is.
Hoppier now.
Yeah, they put more hops in it and dial back the Belgian character a bit, and there you go. And I mean, Firestone Walker has talked about that. He was like, "How can I make a beer that's as good as a hazy, but isn't as nearly labor intensive and expensive to make?" And it's like, well, I already know how to make Belgian beer,
Weizenbach.
And why don't we just do that? And so, I mean, I see what you're saying, Jason. And I because back then it was like wheat beer was the go-to, like I need something light and refreshing kind of beer. And now that's just not a thing. Lager and pills have taken that over again, where if you want something light and refreshing, the first thing that comes to my mind is a pills. Like I want a pills that's nice and dry and it's got a sharp hop character, and maybe it's a little soft, or depending on the style, but
maybe that's it, that the craft beer market has matured past the like, I don't drink lagers, I'm not a pussy, I drink Blue Moon, you know, like that was that,
well, it's like the
market has matured past that, where people are like, oh yeah, lagers are good sometimes, or like lagers are not sometimes, lagers are fucking good, full stop, no qualifier. And like people are like not afraid to admit that anymore, so they don't have to be like, I'm drinking a wheat beer, so I'm not a wussy.
Yeah, craft
related
took back the lager. That's good.
I had Stone American Pilsner at a bar yesterday.
Oh, how was it?
I actually liked it.
Kind of overly bitter, like you'd expect from Stone. Like not overly bitter in that it's like a hoppy Pilsner, but like too bitter for style. Like it's just a little bit like, okay, like, you guys still had to stone it up a little bit. Yeah.
I think I saw that they're canning Double Bastard. They're doing 12-ounce cans of Double Bastard.
Right.
I'd like to revisit Double Bastard.
I think it's a good format for Double Bastard.
I'd even do it on the show because I forgot why I was mad at them.
I'm gonna break out my tongue scraper before that.
Did those old grievances with Stone go away now that they've been sold and the Greg isn't there anymore?
Like, I don't know. They just kind of
didn't they win like $57 million, but they spent like $400 million or something?
Yeah,
I
think so.
That was the dumbest thing.
They actually won that? Okay. Well, yeah, I think overall this is a great beer. Obviously, everything we're going to have from Green Cheek is going to be really good. This does stand out as, you know, it's not just like a, you know, afterthought of a beer where it's like, I guess we need a wheat beer. And you can tell by Evan, you know, the dude's very, very smart, like overall, but when it comes to beer, especially, like the dude knows what he's talking about. And he was,
what I love about non-hoppy Evan beers is that there's a lot of thought put into them. Like he brewed at Taps, which was all classic styles. He brewed at Hangar 24, so he knows wheat beer.
Like, I forgot about that. Yeah.
How many batches of orange wheat, ODEB as they used to call it back in the day?
I forgot you worked there.
I didn't know that. I didn't
and
actually
Noble
think I ever know that. Yeah, and Noble is, I mean, they're still around, right? They're not really doing much of note, are they? I don't know.
Dude,
I haven't heard much about them in a while.
Platinum Triangle, man. They were right there next to Angel Stadium, and I mean, I doubt, I don't see them ever going out of business. Just because of the foot traffic they get being that close to you know, first of all, their location, the 57, the 5, and basically the 91, and then next to Angel Stadium, like it's perfect.
Joe's
And
wearing a baseball shirt. Have you ever been to Noble? Have you ever been up to that location up there?
I have not been to that location. No, I've only been to Angel Stadium once, but I was going to say I will die on the hill that in like 2016, Citrus Showers is one of the best hoppy beers I've ever had in my entire life.
It legit was.
Beer,
but
and that was Evan.
That beer changed my life.
2017 was the year Green Cheek was founded, and guess who left?
Yeah, I'm saying, I wish he would just brew Citrus Showers again under a different name. Maybe he does. I don't know, but holy smokes, that beer!
Spoiler alert: we do have maybe a collab coming between Green Cheek and the 4 Brewers.
Greg's been trying to
Discord.
finagle something. Can we say that publicly?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it may not happen, but I pitched this. It's called Panning for Hops. It's like an 1800s guy in a river trying to find gold, except the gold is hops. And the idea is to use all the HBC hops that are like the up and coming hops that aren't necessarily like they've not like gone through the rigors. They don't have their names and whatever yet. And so we want to try and find some blends. We're going to, sniff some hops and figure out what's going to go in a nice West Coasty.
Can we somehow get Golden Brett on the can? Like the character Golden Brett?
If we own it, yeah.
Their artist can
just put a little prospector guy.
Give him the little prospector logo that we have.
Just put any little prospector
that's
guy.
Where honestly all of that all that spawned from.
Or they could dress the little bird up with like a prospector like hat and stuff.
Oh, that'd be funny as hell.
That's even better.
Or we can have the parrot on his shoulder as he's panning for hops.
Dude, if that happens and I can sit at the Oceanside spot and drink a beer that the 4 Brewers collab on, that'd be amazing.
Dude, I would
come to the collabs and throw the ceremonial hop.
We got to put that energy out into the world. Let's make it happen.
All right.
Yeah, I'm down to talk for that. The last collab we did, I think, was with Derek when he was at Ukaipa Brewing.
Oh yeah, the Brew Kaipa, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And then I remember the first collab that I did officially was with Tyler at the brewery, which was a small batch of something. I think it was a saison or something, and he ended up just dumping it and didn't tell us. Like I remember going there and I'm like, "Hey Tyler, what's up with our beer?" He's like, "I needed the fermenter, so I just dumped it."
Dirty Beaver Juice weekend.
So hopefully this doesn't go like that. Like,
what are we going to next, boys?
I'm gonna open Nectaron. I'm just going
in this economy.
In this one,
that is the name of the beer, Nectaron. In this
economy, because
Nectaron is a West Coast Pils, and it's got hops from Mac Hops New Zealand, and they're all Nectaron hops. And this is a pretty interesting beer. Nectaron. Ron is the name of the hop dude that
Dr. Ron something.
Evan talks about it in his interview. So but before we get to that, for me on the nose, this is super nectarine hoppy, like blows my nose out of the fucking water.
Whoa, that aroma is massive.
Yeah. So let's listen to
New Zealand hops. Come on.
On a hoppy pills, that aroma fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. That's why I didn't want to start with this one, because it's just whoa. So here's Evan.
It's pills.
Named after Dr. Ron for all of its nectarine sort of vibes to it, and it is super fun. And so this specific hop came from Mac Hops out of New Zealand, and we actually had Dr. Ron, the maker of this hop, come out to collab with us and visit with us. And this guy is a magic man. This man is specifically responsible for 16 different varietals that come out of New Zealand. So I'm like
19 now.
He was here at the brewery last week.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah. So we're chatting about all this, and I'm like, wait, so let's get down to it. Like, just go through the years of when you came out with what. And he's just like, oh, okay, well, Nelson came out this year. Pacific Jade came out this year. Rawaka, Motueka.
He's the guy.
Nectaron. Like he's
like in a lab coat.
Yeah, like, and so he is semi-retired now, but him and then Brent, the 5th generation hop farmer from Mac hops in New Zealand. They both came out and made a beer with us. And so anyway, while they were here, I wanted to have something for them to drink all day. And so we got some Nectaron from their farm, from the Mac Hops farm, and then made this West Coast Pils with it. That is a 5.4% beer.
Oh,
and
nice.
We're using lager yeast. Yeah, I mean, like most Green Cheek beers, and kind of our vibe is like this pale base with hoppy beer. I can't get enough of it. And so this is built on Pilsner malt. We have some spelt in there, which is an ancient wheat, and then we've got a little bit of dextrin malt as well to just help build a little bit of body, support the hops a little bit better. But yeah, from there, it really kind of goes into this like American Pils direction where it's like clean bittering hop, and then we have like a middle edition in order to create a little bit of texture there on the palate, and then big whirlpool, big dry hop.
Little Robert Plant and Eddie Vedder in the background.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so for me, and on Untapped, this is a Pilsner, mind you. It has a 4.1 on Untapped, which
finally people are starting to respect it.
I mean, well, it doesn't even come off like a Pilsner. It just comes off like a super clean, non-bitter West Coast-ish IPA. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I'm just still in awe of how much aroma is coming off this fucking beer.
Is anybody else
so like orangey, and maybe they put nectarine in my head, but it's just so citrusy.
It's stone fruity, and it's got like this cool like how Nelson is, like that kind of earthy funk thing. I love it.
It's there, yeah, for sure.
I mean, this
beer is crushable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. So the aroma is very, very citrusy, and it makes you think you're like almost like you can get a Citra beer, right? Like you're getting like a big citrus bomb, but like you just said, there's like some funkiness to it. There's
some
that,
like that earthy thing. It's like
I don't get the earthiness. I don't get a lot of earthy aroma, but I get it on the flavor. Like when I drank the beer, it's got this like kind of like not funky, but like there's like a little bit of like a earthy, like kind of unique flavor that goes in there where there's like it's giving you a little bit of complexity out of it, even though it's a hoppy Pilsner, which could be really one note.
And
this
I think
cool.
One of the biggest shocks for me was hearing spelt, as a wheat thing in a Pilsner, because that's such a pronounced sort of, and I don't know, you don't see Pilsners or any lagers for that matter ever made with spelt that I'm aware of, but it's sort of a ballsy move that helps elevate the beer a little bit. And
what exactly does
like
spelt do? Like why would
it's like an ancient wheat grain. It's got a little bit of a bitterness to it. You definitely kind of sense that on the back palate, like after you add a sip, you swallow, and you get this like, you had something like substantial.
I wonder if
there's
that
like a little bite to it.
Lends something to that kind of earthiness on the aroma, because it's like I get two distinct things. I get citrus and then something else that it comes off like a malty kind of aroma, like from the malts. It is like Joe said, it is kind of earthy, but it's just, it works with the aroma. Like I think if I were to smell this beer without the hops, I may not like it because it might be a little too funky. But this works very well with these hops.
And we're using the word funky, and it isn't like a lambic.
I'm saying funky like weird. Yeah,
like or like I think somebody mentioned cheese, like kind of like you're getting into like a brie cheese kind of thing.
I mean, I said Famunda cheese. I didn't.
Oh, okay. I don't actually know Famunda cheese.
For me, papaya is the best descriptor. Where a ripe papaya
really good.
Has a funk to it.
Yeah.
But then you eat it and you're like, ooh, it's right in that vein, dude.
This beer great.
This beer kicks ass. Like
I want to go back and buy more cans of this.
I come in expecting a lot from Green Cheek, but like I'm still surprised. This is really good.
No, and me and Joe talked about this when we met up. The first time I told him, I go, Oceanside is closer than anything in Orange County for me. I mean, unless I go to like the Anaheim Hills area, that's
because you got the 78 or whatever.
Yeah. So 76. Me being this close to Green Cheek and not having to deal with traffic and everything else and pay tolls and all this other crap that I have to do for going to Orange County, it's fantastic. And so
And
I just wish they would move a little more east and a little more north, like Temecula area. Then
John moved to the sticks, and he's like, "Can everything else move to the sticks?"
I didn't move to the sticks. What are you talking about? I live basically in Murrieta. Like, it's not
that can art's amazing, by the way, with the piggy bank on it. I love
it. The concept was the hops are really expensive, and they're like, I don't know if we can afford it. Like, I guess we have to because the guy's he's flying out from New Zealand. So it's like Nectaron in this economy.
I had a Nelson in this economy last year, and it was great.
Going back to our conversation about the World Beer Cup earlier, this kind of illustrates why Green Cheek took a bronze in hoppy lager at the World Beer Cup. You know, and a bronze behind North Park and everywhere. Like if you lose a medal to North Park, it's like, all right.
Which beer was that? Because they also medaled for cold IPA, right? Green Cheek did?
They medaled for It Just Works. It was the beer that
that's the cold IPA I was thinking of. Yep. They called that a hoppy lager.
Hoppy lager, yeah. And then North Park.
Hoppy lager is cold.
North
IPA,
Park took gold with hop or Ice Foo.
That beer was great too.
Haven't had that one. I've had hot
Ice Foo and It Just Works were both amazing.
Cool, man. Good shit.
All right. I love this beer. I can't wait to. I got off on a tangent, but like I'm saying, I'm glad I live this close to Green Cheek because the area I moved into, which is the Sticks, I actually have access to so much San Diego beer. Like
John, there's
Virgin, I never got when I lived in Moreno Valley, and now I have like everything Virgin makes, and it's 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah,
you're close to Carl Strauss too, which is great beer.
I think they closed that one.
I got 8-bit. Like I'm not in this. Fuck you, Jason. Yeah. Like you're in the Sticks if anything. Jesus.
John, I don't have a cow farm next to my house.
Well, okay, you got me on that one. We do have cows walking distance away. So and a thin blue line flag on a flagpole at someone's property. But
there you go.
I mean, I knew that when I moved here. But I'm just stoked to be this close to Green Cheek and.
My wallet is not stoked. I've been every weekend since they opened, dude. Every single weekend.
I walk in now. Did you go the weekend that I don't? Because we went on last Saturday. I don't think you went. Did you go on Sunday last weekend?
Yes, because we had baseball. Yeah, I walk in and the one dude behind the bar is like, "What's up, Joe?" And I'm like, "Oh no, he knows my name."
No, Yvonne. That's funny you say that because Yvonne, she started asking beer servers like their names. Because she's like, if we're gonna come here, I want to know these people's names.
I should.
And I'm like,
their name.
Cool, man. That coming out of my wife's mouth is fucking awesome.
Heck yeah.
So, all right, moving on. The next beer. I want to chill and drink this some more, but we have a show.
Well, you got a show in the fridge.
I think we should move on to Nelson. It's what we like here in parentheses.
Yeah, same guy, right?
Spoiler alert, we do like
it. I don't know. We'll find out when we listen to this interview right here. Let me just get this queued up right here. And here we go.
We're going to be trying 4 beers on the show, not right the second. But I want to get your take on, we have Nelson, West Coast, 100% Nelson. Is that 100% Nelson?
So almost 100% Nelson, like where we're doing the same exact hops for bittering for all of these batches, but then everything that matters in the beer is all Nelson, and so it's all Whirlpool and then all dry hop, 100% Nelson.
Oh, okay. And so where'd you get this Nelson from?
So all the Nelson we're using is from Freestyle hops out of New Zealand.
Okay. So I love myself some Nelson. What are you looking for as far as the Nelson goes? Is it like the gooseberry, diesel-y kind, or something different?
Yeah, so the lot that we used on this specific batch actually came from our pals at Cellar Maker. So it's, I feel like it's a touch different on this batch than some of the others that we've done in the past, but it absolutely is hitting that like fresh Riesling, like
cool.
It's hitting that like sort of gooseberry thing, that kiwi character.
Beautiful.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, I mean, you got to kiwi the fuck out of it.
And then we
poke your beak in it.
Yeah, what else? I mean, like
fucking Greg.
When Nelson's right, it's right. It's like there's this like certain amount of like passion fruit that's able to jump out of the glass that I think is like something that's super special.
Cool. Yeah, so there are no bittering hops in this beer at all. It's all late Whirlpool.
So
and Yeah, Joe actually did a video on this beer.
I fucking love.
Oh, you did?
Beer.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, I think. Are you still doing Green Cheek? Are you still releasing? Because you haven't lately, or no, you did. I think yesterday.
Yeah, there was a Green Cheek triple IPA the other day that posted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on a quest to review all of them.
I mean, dude, the amount they're putting out, you might as well. That's just
I'm telling you, this beer is one of the best Nelson West Coast beers I've ever had.
If you want to hear more about this beer while also seeing a Golden Axe arcade cabinet in the background.
If you want to know what I have to say, go to bjpen.com.
I don't get that one.
Most people would. That's a really obscure reference.
Is that a
I love that Jason knows that.
fighting term?
Yeah.
He was an old
Joke, I mean.
It's from like 2006.
So can we talk about gooseberries real quick?
BJ Penn, not to interrupt, but
gooseberries
I saw BJ Penn at an Apple store.
Greg, wait a second. Nobody eats gooseberries.
I don't think that's right because I think he's from Hawaii.
Every now and then I go to we have like in Anaheim, there's a whole row of Middle Eastern restaurants and grocery stores, and every now and then they have fresh gooseberries.
Do they really? So my issue with gooseberries is everyone talks about, like with Nelson beers, oh, gooseberry this, goose. If you go into a regular grocery store, like you never see goose. Nobody eats them. No. So like it's been my whole joke that like
it's hard to find in California.
They're not really a thing. So I don't brew beer, but someday I want to brew a beer of all Nelson, and it's going to be named Gooseberries Aren't Real. That's going to be the name of it. 'Cause they're not
Let's fucking do it, man. I don't know how good I am at making IPA, but
I'm going to send you some gooseberries, and you're going to be like, "Holy shit, it tastes like Nelson."
Dude, there's a guy that watches my videos, and he says it all the time. He's like, "Dude, I eat gooseberries once a week. Like I eat them. I'm going to send you some."
No, they're good.
I'm like, "No, you don't. You're a liar. Nobody eats gooseberries."
Dude, there's
a goose is a bird, not a berry.
The grocery store that has gooseberries by my house also sells camel meat, which
whoa,
I don't know.
What?
Maybe we should try some camel meat.
Why?
I
don't know. They have it.
I feel like the only way to prove that you're like king of the jungle is to like eat more creatures. So you're like, all right, I ate a lion, now I'm king of the savannah. Like I ate a shark, I'm king of the ocean. Like I ate an alligator, I'm king of the swamp. I have eaten alligator, so I'm king of the swamp.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but my old Greg would have said something there. But I've grown, and we'll stop there. One thing I want to point out from these Green Cheek beers, I don't know if you guys have realized what the carbonation is like on these. They're
fantastic,
extremely fine bubbles. Champagne,
yeah, I noticed that too.
Very European as far as carbonation goes. They're not bubbling messes that are just gushing carbonation up. They're very light on the carbonation.
If you put this
concentrate the aromas in your glass.
And I think this beer and what we were talking about with how this beer has no bittering additions is worth pivoting into talking about the new West Coast IPA.
Exactly.
That's what I was saying earlier.
I thought about this when you were talking about Bob and other brewers talking behind the scenes.
No bittering hops. Why?
Exactly.
Bitter clear IPA is like gone. Like bitter West Coast IPA is kind of antiquated. I mean, there's still some, but like the modern interpretation of a like clear like West Coast style IPA is not super bitter. They're very late hop addition. They're very hop bursted. Tons of hop flavor, not a lot of hop bitterness. Like if you drink this and then you go back to a Swami's, the Swami's is like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Such a shock.
And
100%. I've done that.
And I think I've taken for granted that like I don't think that is that common off the coast. It is common all the way up the coast, like into the Northwest. I think maybe the Northwest might have been a little bit ahead of the game on hop bursting. Like 5 years ago when I was in Oregon, I was getting some really good hop bursted stuff. But the new school of West Coast IPA is not nearly as bitter. It's much more flavoring and aroma additions without all the bittering additions and without all the weird shit they throw into the hazies to make them sweet.
Yeah, I agree. This definitely has a nice sharpness to it while still being sharpness as far as like it's dry, but it's still kind of fluffy at the same time. It's got a nice mouthfeel on it. And I think if this were any more bitter, I might not even drink it because I'm not opposed to super bitter beers, but it's not. I feel like I get to a point like halfway through a glass of beer that's super bitter that it's taxing my palate. And
for sure.
Swami's is about as bitter as I want to go, and I drink Swami's all the time. Like it's just like drinking water.
John, have you had Pliny recently?
I have, and I was going to actually, you reading my mind.
I feel like that beer's gotten a little bit fruitier, which is awesome. It's still bitter, but it's not. It's not as bitter as I remember. I feel like it's way more drinkable now.
You totally took the words out of my mouth. I was just thinking about saying that. Yeah, I wonder if Russian River is. I mean, I guess you could just ask Vinny, but like they have to be influenced by this new way.
They're just like change. Yeah, he's in Greg's phone. They're just changing it like 1% a year. They're like, we're just getting a little bit less bitter over time.
Oh, I don't think that's wrong. I think they're slowly dialing it down.
Even Swami's from 10 years ago, it's not the Swami it is today. It's totally different.
You guys get Pliny for President this run that just came out?
I try.
I did. Dude, I went off on a whole tangent on that because of the cost with the shipping, and it was almost $40 for a 4-pack. And I
remember that. And you were like, if you want to sell this beer on the black market, fucking sell it.
Oh, I just bought some at the store, dude.
Well, the first release they did this year, or was it end of last? It was whatever before this one. They've done it twice, I think. But yeah,
I just got it at my local good liquor store. It was normal price.
It was like $92 for you got 16 cans, and then you had to pay $20 to ship. Yeah, so it came out to being, if you had to ship it, almost $40 a 4-pack. I'm like, dude, on no planet should you be paying $40 for a 4-pack of 7% IPA. You just shouldn't ever.
The best deal you can get from Russian River, and it's actually pretty competitive, is a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans of STS pills for $10.
Yep,
I think I just paid $8 for like a bottle.
Yeah, that's what. Well,
or maybe it's
bottles. That's what I'm. The bottles of STS pills are like $6.50. Just
no. I mean, a Pliny for President. I just bought it at the store. I didn't have to do anything weird. I went to my good beer store. They posted on Instagram that they had it, and then I went and I bought it like all the other Russian River beers. They had a limit one, but that's all.
But Joe, how much
that beer is very fruity too.
How much was a 4-pack, Joe, of President?
Well, it was like $92 for 16 cans. So what's the math on that?
I don't know. I want to say you said it was like $24 a 4-pack.
Well, after shipping, it was $120 something for 16 cans. It came out to almost $40 a 4-pack.
$92, 16 cans. You're only 50% effective. You add Samoa Joe into the mix.
Here's the fuck around part, and here's the find out.
You add Samoa Joe into the mix. Now we're 90%.
I mean, it's a good listen. That beer is fantastic. I got upset, but it's like, look, I was the one who bought it. I didn't have to click purchase. I did it. I'm an idiot. It's my own fault.
Yeah. I did enjoy your you were very curt. You were very
well, but then
they also had Mind Haze. It was good.
They did Pliny the Younger this year, and it was a 3-pack of 16.9 ounce bottles.
Oh, maybe that's the one you said that about.
And it was $47. It was almost $15 a bottle. I'm like, what are we doing?
I'm wrong. I think you said that about Younger. I think that's what you said that about.
Haven't we all grown out of Pliny the Younger by now?
I mean, if I can get it, I'm going to try it.
It's Pliny the Elder is better. Triple IPA. Hold on. Haven't we all grown out of triple IPA by now? Triple IPA as a category is just double IPA, but worse. And I can...
totally agree.
Just get a double IPA and a shot of whiskey and like call it a day. Like if you want to get more drunk, just get a fucking
economically.
Something. Yeah, like no, not even. It's just triple IPA sucks. All of them suck. Like they can be very good beers, but they would be great beers if they were a double IPA.
What do you think about triple hazies? Is that even worse?
I don't drink that.
I don't know, dude. They're always a mess,
dude. Listen, the green cheek.
They always smell like you're next to like a fruit farm when you're painting your house with latex paint.
I'm telling you, the green cheek triple IPA hazy beers are unbelievably good.
I'm sure they're fine, but I bet you the double IPAs are even better.
And then the single IPAs are even better than that. And then the hoppy pale ales are better than that. And then the hoppy pills.
It's not that.
You're in heaven.
The scale's different.
I will say, so someone in the comments said that people were going crazy for Waldo's this year. So the thing that's cool about Waldo's is you can get a 6-pack of that for $15 of triple IPA. Like that value is crazy.
Well, that's the Lagunitas factor right there, right?
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
it was
Heineken
$15
for
for
around.
one beer for one bottle of Pliny the Younger. I could get a 6-pack of Waldo's, and it's every bit as it's not. I'm not saying it's as good as Younger, but it's fine.
Waldo's is dank. It is like
It's
old
a good
school.
beer.
There's so much caramel malt in that shit. Like it is like sticky. That
Even
beer.
It's a
even
nickel
when I gotta
bag.
like break down and buy a 6-pack of Lagunitas IPA because I'm somewhere that doesn't have, the beer I want to buy, and that's the closest thing I can get to IPA. I'm just like, well, suck it up, Buttercup. It's time to go back.
I don't hate
go
that
back
beer
in
though.
time.
I got Greg a tall can of Lagunitas IPA as a goof,
I
and he
was
posted on the
shocked.
internet that it was like his favorite beer.
It was damn delicious.
I like Lagunitas
Not even
IPA.
kidding.
He's old Greg. I mean, what do you expect?
It was not the beer it used to be. There was no malt at all. It was a straight up easy drink. Let's go back to Nelson here because
Yeah, we got to
as it warms up in the glass,
Beer's fire.
do you ever have like matcha like bubble teas? Do you ever go have like matcha bubble teas? Okay, never mind. That's what it smells like to me. It's nice. It's got
What's the
sweet
characteristic
sort of
of
green
matcha tea, Greg?
I mean, it's a green tea that's powdered that has like a in the bubble form. It's got a sweetness to it. I don't know.
So it's
You
more
just
of a
have to go
flavor
grab
thing
one.
than a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Greg,
Yeah.
is this a gooseberry bomb?
No, not at all. It's more on like hanging out by a gas station. Like it's got that diesel.
Easily,
like,
yeah.
truck
It is
running.
a little bit diesel-y. I don't normally feel like I get that diesel-y flavor
it's so
from
fruity.
Nelson, but I am getting it there. On the finish, it's got a little bit of like there's a little bit of heat on there that like
Mhm, mhm.
I
You
guess
know,
really
it's
like
Nelson.
candy
It's
on the nose, like oh god, those square candies.
Starburst?
Starburst, there you go. Like a Starbursty kind of thing on the nose that also it's kind of a when I say vanilla, it's not literally vanilla, but it's kind of like a softer kind of cake kind of thing, kind of like how I describe the nose on like a hazy
I can see that.
IPA.
Mhm.
Yeah, good call, man.
And it's also a bit dank on the nose at the same time. So it's got everything. It's
Dude,
that
Nelson is
79
such a
vibe.
weird hop.
It's a
And
love it or
it-
hate it hop, you know?
It
I
is.
think Nelson is a crop dependent hop, kind of like Mosaic, where like
Mhm.
if you get the dregs of it, it's like those are not great beers, but the good ones are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, the interview I had, I cut a lot out, and that was one of the things we talked about. What Joe just said, like people love it or hate it. It's not
Mhm.
like Sriracha Ace where people are like, "Oh God,"
Yeah.
but Nelson is like either
Or
way too
Sabro, where
dank.
everyone's like, fuck Sabro.
Bro.
Sriracha Ace, that hop just went away. Like, or did it? Like,
Because it was
at
kind of
least the
bad.
hype went away. I'm sure the hop still exists because it's like a super high alpha hop, and its intent was to be used for bittering. But as far as it being used as like a flavor or
Right.
an aroma hop, that's kind of died off. I don't know. I don't think
Whatever happened to Lotus hops, John?
I don't know if I've ever had Lotus hops.
I'd
Is that
love
a thing?
that hop.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know, man. What's a beer that you had with Lotus hops? Like a Noble beer or
geez.
something?
I don't remember.
It sounds
But I
like something
remember-
Noble would do, like Lotus showers or something.
Yeah, I don't remember Lotus hops at all.
I remember Lotus. Does anyone remember
Lotus?
Lotus hops?
Whatever happened to
No.
Lotus?
What
No.
the fuck is a Lotus,
Lotus.
hop?
Are you
Hey.
fucking with this, Joe?
Hey,
No.
Chat
You
GPT,
looking
what the fuck's a Lotus?
Lotus hops were a thing, dude.
No, I googled it, and the first result
next
was
to
buying
Fuggles?
the hops from more beers, so they're at least the homebrew store.
So it's definitely a hop. Yeah, I guess it. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
go-
Maybe it.
I want to go.
It was
rub
released
some.
in 2019 from Hopsteiner.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess people didn't like them. I don't know. That's my answer.
That hop sucked. It's gone.
It stems from Eastern Gold, followed by a mix of Apollo Cascade. All right, yeah, I don't know. Never even heard of that one.
That was
This
good.
sounds so old school.
No, I liked it.
I like the Flotus hops that are like from the.
Lotus.
Oh, they have examples. It's in Stone Delicious. That beer is bad.
Yeah.
Hot take.
You know what, Jason? Like, why do you have to use that beer as the example?
They put it on their website, on the commercial website.
You know who
It's-
loves that beer? We'll drink it whenever we're out. Then there's like no
Dads.
other. My wife.
Dads do. Okay,
My wife
wives.
loves Delicious.
Yeah, that's a dad beer.
Does your wife like bitter beer, Joe?
Yeah. She does.
Yeah, Yvonne does not. So that would.
She was with me, dude. Like as soon as I got off the hazy train a couple years ago, she's like, "Give me all the West Coast stuff."
Nice.
Hell yeah.
You're like Ozzy Osbourne off the crazy train, the hazy train.
She's down.
Yeah, dude. Talk about double dry hopped hazy double IPAs.
Yeah, next beer we got up. This is our last beer from Green Cheek, and this is called "Movies Are the New Books." I think Evan mentions how this beer got this name, but doesn't go in depth with it. But I don't know. For me, movies are always the new books, or they are.
Look at me
books because I
pulling this
movies and read books.
Hold on, watch me pull this beer out of the 6-pack holder.
Okay.
Nice. The good thing about that is if you put a can in a recycle bin and it has one of those sticky labels on it or a shrink wrap label, you can't be recycled. So take the labels off before you throw the cans in the recycle bin.
Hey, we did it. We did it.
All right.
I can appreciate the name of this beer, by the way.
What's that, Joe?
I can appreciate the name of this beer because everyone, when I was little, they'd be like, "This is such a good book." I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen the movie."
Yeah, I'll just wait for the movie. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna read a book.
Now it's the opposite. People like you watch a show and people are like, actually, in the book, this happened, and I'm like, I don't care. That's a different medium. I'm just trying to watch this. I'll read a book if I want to read a book, but we're talking about a movie.
I'm not gonna say anything yet.
Joe's like, I never learned to read.
Books are a pain in the ass. That's what it comes to.
That explains all video games.
I have a bad imagination. So, all right, let's listen to Evan talk about movies are the new books.
Movies are the new books.
Yeah, my brother said this to me the other day where he was talking about like.
You have a brother?
Yeah,
okay.
I have two. One's 5 years older and one's 13 years younger. So movies are the new books. This is a double dry hopped hazy double IPA. This is mostly Citra, and then this new hop varietal HBC 1019.
1019.
And
that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
it's like
it's hard to keep
I figured that out. Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of
all those HBC. What does HBC stand for? Home Body Club?
Hop. Yes, exactly that. No, hop breeding company.
Hop breeding, okay.
When a hop variety takes about 10 years from start to finish, they get going on a lot of them, and as they continue to learn, that how important it is for the hop industry, how important it is for the drinker and the customer. Like, there's so much effort that's gone into continuing to try to just create the most tropical. Yeah,
the books of the new movies, is that like on the softer side, or is that a hazy or whatever?
Yeah, so that's a double dry up hazy double IPA, and so that beer and all of our hazy beers really don't get any bittering additions. They don't get hops until the cool pool.
Oh, okay.
So
the cool pool.
So we wait till we go through the boil to get rid of range of things, and then we end up after the boil, we cool down the wort in the kettle, and then we throw in all these hops to really just not extract so much bitterness, but more flavor, aroma, and then texture.
Yeah.
So that like kind of pleasant tannin structure from the hops and everything. And so then after that, we dry hop the hell out of it. And so it's like these beers, including the Whirlpool editions, are like an 8-pound per barrel or more total amount of hops.
That's crazy.
So they're pretty aggressive on that front, but they end up being pretty rich and full-bodied from just all of the sugar that's left over after fermentation and everything else. But then with the yeast strain that we use, mixed with the Citra, it really brings a lot of mango character together. And then this like 1019 is like bringing out this like one of the descriptions that's really fun is this like caramelized banana.
Oh, I get that, like brulee banana. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like and it's such a weird descriptor, but I think it like actually works.
So in the chat, someone mentioned this is a non sequitur, but the song in the background is "Yellow Ledbetter" by Pearl Jam.
Totally.
And I was it Jason? Did you type? I said I don't know whether I'm the boxer or the bag.
That's the Howard Stern thing, right?
Yeah,
dude, Howard Stern wrote that.
Awesome.
Like, because Pearl Jam was on Howard Stern, and the line I think is, I don't know if he came home in a box or in a bag. And Howard said on a previous interview that he said, I love the line of the song where you go, I don't know if I'm the boxer or the bag, meaning he doesn't know if he's the boxer, the guy hitting the bag, or the bag that's taking the hits. And the last time Pearl Jam was, well, the whole band's the first time they were on the show. They played Yellow Ledbetter, and he sang that in the lyric, and it's a Howard Stern lyric. So, yeah, fun fact.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was one of those songs where like the band never clarified the lyrics, so everyone just had to fucking figure it out on their own.
Well, he just spoke about it on Howard Stern, saying he doesn't. I think it was like his brother or something coming home from a war. I don't know. Doesn't know if he came home in a box or in a bag, and
God, that's
when you type that, I was like, oh shit, that's totally a Howard Stern lyric.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder famously doesn't really enunciate.
I don't know what else. The rest of that song, I know he says, "Oh hey," and that's it.
Yeah, he'd be like, "On the hill, on the hill, and I know again."
It reminds me of like a Creed song or something.
Totally.
Well, Creed is just ripping off fucking Pearl Jam. That's
yeah, exactly.
Can I ruin this beer for you in one sentence?
No, well, hold on. Before
okay.
So the last beer we're doing, like I said, movies are the new books. This is a New England double IPA, like Evan said. It's made with Citra and HBC 1019 hops, and it's 8.6%. So this is a beer that I normally would not buy.
The four brewers have not had a beer this milky. Look at this. Like we have not had a beer this milky in a long time.
Your lighting really exaggerates it, Jason.
Well, fuck it. Someone else do their lighting then.
Yeah, Joe's is a little more.
Is that better?
That does look milky.
It is a milky ass beer, dude.
It's what we call Hey Stifler. How's the pale ale?
Honestly, Greg's got the best lighting for the beer. That looks exactly how it looks in real life.
Okay.
It's Hopcom, Jason. Just say it.
Okay, Jason. Greg, what are you going to say to destroy this beer?
I was going to say it tastes like a key lime pie cheesecake.
That's a bad.
I'm just gonna be honest. I don't. This beer is not my favorite. But when he said caramelized banana, that's what that was. It was out, like I thought maybe it was like kind of burnt coconutty or something, but it's caramelized banana.
Caramelized banana does pop out. Like it's not like a banana brulee thing. I get more of like sort of the citrusy thing that pops out first. That's why I said key lime. But definitely on the background, you get this like big vanilla background for some reason. It's super creamy.
It's almost like a milkshake IPA, right?
So milkshakey, right?
Yeah.
This is like very sweet.
Fingers are sticky from like you could feel it.
And it's not sweetness like alcohol sweetness, it's just sweet.
It's very sweet.
It's rich, is what this is.
It's almost 9%.
Rich, which is weird to describe a beer that isn't like a stout.
I agree with that.
But it
like a cheesecake.
Cheesecake, yeah, and that's what it is. It feels like taking a bite of cheesecake, where it's like the flavor is really good and it's super rich. But you don't expect that out of a beer.
You're like, woo!
I think if this beer came out 5 years ago, like when the hype craze was like at its peak, it would destroy. Like it would blow fucking minds. This is very well done. I think it's more of a West Coast-ish hazy because it does have a bitter edge to it somewhat.
Apparently it's a 4.3 on Untappd, so it's doing pretty good.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying
it's 9% hazy, Jason. That's what's
right
gonna
now.
happen.
It kind of falls into it gets lost in the mix kind of thing. That's what I meant. But it really does stand out. It's very for a hazy, it's excellent, especially a hazy.
The weird thing about beers in this zone is that like hoppiness as we know it, I mean, like as we've experienced it in the last two beers, it kind of goes away, and the flavor profile, it's like they take hops into a weird zone where everything becomes kind of desserty again. It's dessert hops.
It's hop weird. Custard.
Yeah,
I'm retracting cheesecake and throwing in custard. It's very custardy.
Yeah, it looks like custard.
And like this is not a bad beer. This is an expertly crafted beer, and it's really good. It's so rich, and it feels like it's like drinking a milkshake. This doesn't taste like drinking a milkshake. It feels like drinking a milkshake. Mm-hmm. It just feels.
Could you imagine trying to drink like a 4-pack of this? It's impossible. There's no way.
No. It's just it's too much. Like everything about this beer is just extreme, right?
It's heavy. Yeah.
The desserty character, the milkshakey. Well, I guess it's not as extreme as far as milkshake beers go because there's some that look like literal ice cream in a
This
Wow.
beer brings the boys to the
As far
yard.
as a 4.3 and Untapped, the milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Mhm.
So
That's it.
as they say it.
It is, yeah, it's very desserty. And I like it, but it's also like I'm having a hard time finishing a pint of it.
I don't
gotta
love the hop. Like I don't love the flavor of this hop.
Jason,
Joe,
banana thing?
you've said in your when you do triple IPAs that you drink them very, very cold.
Cold, yeah. This has sat
this is
out.
pretty damn close to a triple IPA. Do you think
Yeah.
because it's sat out, like that kind of
It could
is
because
messing
even
with
now,
you?
like for how warm it is in my garage, like I got a little bit of like the hot burn thing on the back end of it.
Same. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of that, which I just that's why I drink them cold. The high ABV one, especially you said double dry hopped. Is that right? Yeah.
correct.
Yeah,
And
it's
this is still probably really
8.6.
fresh, right?
I gotta imagine these are super fresh.
Yeah, this is 2 weeks, dude. Like this could sit in the can for another probably 3 weeks and be great.
Congeal
Yeah.
a little bit.
Definitely.
Just let it hang out. It's a bit green.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Hop
That's it.
custard.
I mean,
Custardy.
for
Again,
what it is, I dig it. I'm not. God, my voice is so fucked today.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't want to be a hater on what is a good beer, and I think more than anything, it is just in the style category that is not in the zone that is my favorite to drink.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
So, it's just so wildly opposite of like we were drinking Nectaron in this economy a little while ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's so far from
Go
that.
back to that if you haven't.
Yeah, it's such a and I had to finish that to get
I
a
do.
glass free for this. I still have some of the
Oh yeah, so you drink
Nelson
that?
though.
Holy smokes, give me that.
Wow. Cleans up.
Mhm.
Cleans up nice.
Oh, that's so nice after
Oh,
that.
that's
It's like,
actually refreshing.
Yeah.
There is Mr. Bubbles on my tongue.
Yeah, it's like scrubbing. It's like, oh shit, there's all this hazy IPA stuff on there. Let me get that right off your tongue for you.
Let me get that for you.
Yeah, movies
know-
are the new books. Definitely like a shag carpet of beer. And Nectaron, it's more like tile.
Our friend
Hardwood
Steven
floor.
Toomey in the chat says
hardwood floor.
hazy's in the past for me unless it's Treehouse. I don't know. I do feel like hazy is starting to lose momentum for sure.
Yeah. Green Sheet though, definitely pulling some magic still.
For sure. But it's not as dominant as it was. Let's just say that.
I don't know.
I think
Well,
that's
here
about-
on the West Coast, maybe it's not, but back there on the East Coast, it's still everything's hazy.
Hazy boy.
What I've been hearing is that it's slowly shifting over there too. So I think it's kind of, I think hazies have their place. They just shouldn't be the main thing. Like they should be like part of the portfolio. But if you go somewhere and there's like 8 hazies, it's like I turn around and leave.
Well, I think Green Cheek might have 8 hazies on tap. I mean,
Well,
but they're-
if it's
they're
8 out of
different.
like
2 or 3.
8 out
But
of
you,
like
can,
this
you
is
also can
single,
get
there's a
9
double.
German style beers.
right.
Damn straight.
I think it's suspect when you go to a brewery and they only have 8 hazies on tap. That's when you turn around and walk out.
No.
Because,
Same malt base, different hops.
I know a brewery that is exactly that. I'm not gonna call them out.
Do you guys know Revision Brewing in Reno?
Yeah, that's
First time-
Jeremy Warren, who from used to be at goddamn
Knee Deep, right?
Yeah, Knee Deep.
So the first time I ever went there is 2015, I think. We walked in, and I'm not kidding you, every single beer on the menu was hazy. There was nothing else. We're like, what do we do?
I'm mad at that guy because he owes me a fucking
diet.
beer.
I mean, that was
am-
years ago. It's not still, I'm sure it's not like that still, but the
Okay.
first time I ever went in there.
10 years ago, I drank a Knee Deep beer that I found at Bevmo or some shit. And I was like, yeah, this tastes old. And he was like, oh, yeah, we haven't packaged this in forever. This sucks. You should email me and I'll send you a new beer. And so I emailed him. He never did.
Never.
You know what? Fuck that
because
guy.
He's
still
knee
owes,
deep.
he owes me a fucking beer. Jeremy
Dude,
Warren, you owe me a beer. You promised me a
Jeremy
beer 10
Warren,
years
fuck
ago.
you.
I never got
Fuck
it.
you.
You owe me a beer.
Call me out, bud.
I'm not saying fuck you, but I'm saying you owe me a beer, man.
Knee Deep was responsible for my like getting really into super hoppy beers back in the day because like Knee Deep was like
Knee Deep, yeah.
Simtra and Hopperillo.
Simtra,
like
yeah.
Dude, those beers were crazy good.
Yeah,
And
were.
they did just kind of fall off the map once he left.
Yeah.
So I guess he was the glue holding that shit together.
You know who else brewed there is Zach from Shred. He brewed there back in the day.
No shit.
Yeah.
Trade.
Yep.
That Sacramento scene is like its own thing. Like there's a lot going on up there. We
It's
should
crazy
get
'cause
we should get fucking Robert on. I'm sure he could illuminate all the Sacramento drama.
It's just funny because I grew up in the Sacramento area, and seeing all these crazy breweries up there is rad. Yeah,
They have a cool scene. We've gotten to experience it a lot when we were going up for the California Craft Beer Summit.
Mhm.
So,
and when was that? What year was that?
Before COVID.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying, so
Pre-COVID.
since then it's blown up even more. Like there's so
BC.
many breweries
Really?
up there. Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
there's
That's
a ton.
cool. Yeah, because we were like, who's the big brewery? They're like a smoker restaurant thing. Oh shit.
Smoker. They're like,
oh,
do
the ones that do the check the degrees weight check beers. Goddamn, what are they called? They're like the Beechwood of Sacramento.
More like old brewers.
Wait, what?
Shit. Oh god, they're a Sacramento brewery.
You talking about like
Damn
Chalk
it.
7?
They're a smokehouse.
Urban Roots.
And,
Urban Roots.
Urban Roots.
Urban Roots. There you go. Yeah.
One of my really, dude, you know what's funny? One of my really
Ohio
good
Brett
friends.
is in the house.
One of my really good friends
What?
was
Shout out to Ohio
college
Brett.
roommates with the dude from Urban Roots.
Are we done, by the way? I think
Well, we should probably sign
I
the
was
show
going to do a
off.
little bit of a wrap up. So,
okay.
but I guess we're done.
Let's-
Okay.
No. Let's do a wrap up.
Let's do a wrap up. Yeah.
All right.
We went off the rails there a little bit, and
Yeah,
we
it's
should have
okay.
like wrapped up.
So I'm happy to be back. I said this, I think, on our last
It
two
is
comebacks.
good
like,
to
it's like,
fucking
yeah, it's
be
good
back.
to
I
be
miss
back,
this
but,
show. I miss you guys. I miss fucking the people in the chat. Fucking Ohio Brett. Fucking Steven came out in the chat. Tenor Madness going to Pizza Port. Salmon shit. All you fuckers. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out,
Miss
dudes.
you guys.
Yeah, like we're
I'm glad
streaming.
you're back,
actually-
and we're gonna be back. We're back for fucking real this time.
Yes, Jason wants to make that clear, and I got to say, shout out to you, Jason and Greg, for both stepping up and saying, "Hey." I mean, I'm not trying to. I don't know. For the longest, when I was in New Brew Thursday going forward, I literally did everything myself, and that was kind of my own thing because I wanted to control everything creatively, because only I can make cool stuff, and that's what was going on in my head. And then one day that kind of just was like, you know what, I'm tired of doing stuff, and I love doing the stream and like doing this, hanging out. This is fun, but the work afterwards was kind of, taxing. And so Jason stepping up and saying, hey, let's do this. Let's, take some of this burden off of John, and we'll do a planning meeting.
We're getting a little more organized. Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate that. And so thank you guys for doing that. And then Joe, I love having Tim on the show. And it was great, but it kind of worked out well where we met up and I asked you to be on the show and you said you would, and that's really cool. Like, cause you're one of my favorite beer people.
No,
And,
I'm stoked that you guys had me.
Joe,
I'm
you know
happy
your
to have
shit.
you on the show.
You know
I
your
think it's
shit. You're a great viewpoint. I think you're going to be.
Oh, we love having you,
a
dude.
good addition. You're fucking. I'm hyped to have you on
I
board.
appreciate you guys.
When I heard that you were like considering being on board, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, he'd be a great fit for us. So I'm
dude.
super hyped, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So
As should you listening at home,
yeah. So
check
we
your
are
YouTube
back.
channel up.
Everybody who's run into us in the last 2 years and been like, are you still doing the show? We're still doing it. We're fucking trying. We're getting out there. We're gonna do the show. We've got a plan. We've got it fucking set up. I think we're back, and I like being back. So fucking.
I'm just gonna say,
I'm hyped for the future of 4B.
Return of Cheap Beer Corner in a different form.
We've
So,
definitely sketched out an idea for CBC, and I think that'll probably come to fruition pretty soon. So,
Yeah.
any CBC fans that are out there, anybody who misses me drinking garbage beer, which is what I do in my free time, but doing it on camera, yeah, you guys might have some good news in the future. So, stay tuned.
Okay, now we're done with the show.
Okay, stopping.
Yeah, you can stop recording, Joe.
Stop. Save project.
And then don't forget to save it. Is it save or export, Greg?
So I save
hold up.
first.
Do you have
in
to
case
do
it
file?
crashes.
What's that?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
file save. I save it as an Audacity project first.
That's probably
Save
smart.
project.
in case it crashes exporting.
You do save project as?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just do a
Yeah,
save
or
as,
just save.
and then
As the date,
Just
save it as
5/11,
whatever.
just put the date in there.
24.
Oh, geez. I feel like something's going to happen.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna blow up.
Well, just so you have peace of mind, there's a backup recording on StreamYard. So if you lose it, I still have that.
I may need to know the export settings again because like it's doing some weird shit where it's like shared at audio.com, which I don't want to do.
No, don't do cloud.
44
Wave.
100 hertz 16 wave, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be super big file. So
let me go ahead and just post this to the Discord and then Joe.
How do I send this to you, John?
We have a Google
we'll show you.
Drive.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay. It's on my desktop. Hopefully.
I just sent you the settings that we usually export it to. So if you hit file export or export audio and then do those settings, it should work.
Shit.
Doesn't matter
so
mono
right
or
now.
stereo.
it's not that big of a deal, Joe. Just
Mono or stereo.
I prefer the mono's fine.
Okay.
No stereo. Stereo's a waste.
Huge.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Well, then okay. Then I will change mine to mono.
All right, exporting.
Oh, hell
that shit's
yeah.
fast now.
Yeah,
Shit.
dude. Mine's 10 seconds. It used
Why
to
is
take
it so
like 2
fast?
minutes.
Okay,
Mine used
good.
to be like 5
Mine
minutes.
didn't take long either, so that's good.
Audacity used to take like 2 minutes to do this shit,
Forever,
so-
yeah.
This doesn't
All
seem
right.
like it's very long. Oh no. Is this hopefully this is right?
What's wrong, Joe?
I'm gonna play
I don't
mine.
know. It doesn't seem like a very big file.
How big
If you
is it?
save the project won't be a big file, the export will. The
export's
wave
a big
file.
file. Yeah. The wave file will be like
What do I do? Export audio, you said?
Oh wait, mine exported as a fucking. Oh, that's an Audacity document.
I'm not going to close it. Whatever.
So you're going to export as a wave file, WAV, and
Mhm.
it should be like 44, 100 megahertz.
Oh, mine sounds good. All
or
right.
hertz, whatever.
Let me see how big my file is. How big is my file? My file is.
You like that big file?
My file is only 500 megs.
No,
As-
Yeah,
Uh,
549 is mine.
yeah.
It says remaining time 3 minutes, so I guess that's good.
Let me make sure I did.
I'm
it
so
as a
worried
wave.
something like bad
Ah!
happened.
I heard my own voice. I played the file and I'm like, ah, shit.
Ah!
Me.
You have some
Joe, you have an
audacity.
iPhone, right?
What?
You have an iPhone?
I do.
Thanks for hanging out, Bad Vid
You
Vision.
gotta get on the Mac train, dude. Like,
Anybody
continuity
else?
between
We've had
Mac
like
devices is fucking
a
like
dozen
I'm
or
using
so
my
viewers
iPhone
this whole
to do my
time.
video
It's
right now.
fucking. I'm hyped to have them
Really?
back.
Yeah, I did wave. Okay.
Yeah, my phone connects wirelessly to my Mac, and it
Why is
just
Wave so
works as a
small?
camera. And then I have this. You saw the thing that.
Yeah,
moves.
maybe
Never
I
mind.
don't know. Maybe Audacity got better at doing whatever it fucking
Wave
does.
for it.
It sounded
Does it
fine.
no longer look like it's like a 15-year-old app as far as?
No,
the
it
design
still
goes?
does.
No, it changed.
Oh, okay.
Mine still
Mine's
does.
a little different.
It looks a little different, but it looks old as fuck. I mean, look at that screenshot. That's some old shit.
I gotta go to the
Orders?
Discord.
For Brewers recordings. I'm just gonna drop it in the base folder. New file upload.
So yeah, we have a Google Drive. We should probably go off air before we do all this shit. We don't necessarily want everybody to.
Well, I mean, what are we gonna? What are we gonna share? Like,
All right. I mean,
We could say
It's just
bye
a-
to people.
you gotta give him an invite to the Google Drive, and
well, yeah, but that means we're gonna have to share like people's emails and shit. I don't know if we want to do that on the stream.
Oh, I know his email. Hang on, let me do it.
All right. Dude, the hardest thing doing this podcast is getting used to hearing my own voice. But I don't listen to the podcast for that reason. Because here's the worst part. I get over the fact that my voice is weird, but then I make a
wrong
joke
with your
and I'm
voice?
like,
Yeah, why do you think your
it's-
voice is weird?
It's just weird hearing your own voice. And then I get over the fact that I'm hearing my own voice and it's weird. And then I'm laughing at jokes that I make, and that feels fucking really
I'm-
weird.
What's weird for me is if I listen to it, I'm like, I'll lay in references that I actually do on the recording as well. I'm like, good thinking, Nagel of the past.
There's a Simpsons reference I always go to where like Homer records himself and he plays it back. He's like, "Oh, I sound like that," and it's like, Homer, have you never heard your own voice? And he's like, "I prefer to listen to Cheap Trick."
Okay, Joe, I added you. I don't know if you're going to get an email or you can just open drive.google.com and it'll show up under my drive. You should see a folder, I think.
Yeah, it'll be a folder that says 4 Brewers recordings. There.
I did get an email.
2023 12/17. That's okay. That's the
Where
last time we did.
So where do you put this?
You just so you go on the drive and then stop it.
I see like December 17th, 2023, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
That was me.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
just drag and drop your file in there.
Yeah,
In there?
that was, we can delete that.
That's good because you just saved me. They double dip, and that pisses me off.
I know, right?
Like if I upload something to the 4 Brewers shared drive, it takes space from my drive
That's
and the
bullshit.
shared drive.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I just like for Google, like 20 years, I just now subscribe to Google One to get 2
Fuck
terabytes
you.
of storage.
Fuck you,
John.
Sundar Pichai.
John, this WAV file says it's 1.07 gigs. Is that right?
That sounds a little big, but it's fine.
pretty big.
Big is better than small. If it was like 50 megs, it'd be like, oh fuck, something went
Yeah,
wrong.
that's true.
Why is
Yeah.
mine so small?
2 high quality is probably better than.
Hey, my wife says 1.07 gigs is just fine.
I mean, you know,
Did I was 44 hertz or 44k hertz 16-bit? Is that like not how we do? Did you do 32-bit maybe? I don't know.
I have
might
no
have done
idea.
32-bit. Yeah.
yeah. Let me know if you need something different. I saved the raw file.
It'd be fine.
Greg's is
Don't worry, John can
500
fix it in
megs.
post.
But I
the
listened to
file
it. Sounds
size
good.
means nothing to me. So
I want to see if this even uploads.
Sandwich it
Insane.
with the truth. Like you can compress uncompressed audio. Like you can't
exactly.
uncompress compressed audio.
That's why I'm like
So
this. Just upload the wave and I'll deal with it.
if it's
What was
big,
your
that's
guys'
good.
What was your guys' favorite beer out of the 4 we drank today?
Nectaron.
Definitely Nectaron.
Was it
Yeah.
Nelson's
Oh,
really
100%.
good.
Nelson was a
Wow.
banger, but the Nectaron was like a shocker.
that low ABV format with that much flavor is so rad.
Yeah.
It was like Timbo, like I wish I had another one because I have Timbo in my fridge and I'd like to try them back to back.
I still have like older cans of double dry hop Timbo in my fridge. Fucking
Well,
love that beer.
They're probably old, so then it wouldn't compare. But thank you,
purple
John, for
label,
the
I
gift
think.
cards. By the way, I used them at Highland Park last weekend.
Oh, you're welcome. Merry
I
Christmas.
do have a 4-pack of fucking the West Coast IPA. I've been saving that 4-pack, but we got to figure out how to meet soon. Otherwise, I'm going to drink it. So
Jason, I think the last time I was on the show, you had a crowler of like 17% triple IPA from who
What?
makes the power plant? El Segundo? You had gone to El
oh
Segundo.
shit, that sounds.
Did you ever drink
sounds
that?
reasonable.
Remember?
I
You were
mean,
like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna drink it.
I don't have it still. I do have a crowler of like a LA Aleworks like fucking Mexican hot chocolate beer somehow that's been sitting there for 5
wow.
years. But
it has beer in it. Wow.
yeah. But if I had that El Segundo crowler, I definitely drank it because it's not here anymore.
I can't find it. It's gone.
I've been
I threw away
struggling
all of
to
my
get.
growlers when I moved.
I've been struggling to get through my cellar, as all of us have. But I've been slowly but surely knocking out bottles. I've been having a pretty good hit rate. It's been like a 1 in 4 that I've had to dump.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Joe, do you have a cellar full of 10-year-old beer?
I have a lot of I got a bunch of beer upstairs, And I also have a lot of beer in my wife's wine fridge that I realized today because she was like, "Hey, can you check and see if there's champagne in there for tomorrow?" And I was like, "There's a lot of fucking beer in here." So yeah, I found like a random Black Tuesday variant, I think, in there, and I have a bunch of stuff upstairs too.
A friend of mine in my comedy chat bought he did the he's a hoarder still, and he bought the barrel you can get your own barrel of Black Tuesday and get all the bottles from it or whatever.
An entire barrel of it?
Yeah, and so I have a bottle and it's named after the Discord of our fucking comedy podcast we follow or whatever.
That's fucking awesome.
It was $50 for the bottle. So but I'm like, I'll buy one, man, just to help you out.
I'm just saying though, an entire barrel of Black Tuesday, what the fuck are we doing? You're never gonna drink that.
You barely drink an entire. When I see an entire bottle of Black Tuesday, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? We're never gonna drink that.
Seriously, I don't know if you know the show. When I moved, literally I threw away hundreds of bottles, expensive bottles. I mean, we hired a guy with a truck, and he came to our new house to pick up some random shit. But we're like, Yvonne's like, John, we cannot take this beer. You're not going to drink this beer, and it's all super high alcohol brewery beer. And I'm like, you're right, because I'd open a bottle of brewery beer and I'd have 4 ounces and be like, I can't drink.
That's too much. Yeah.
I have
the rest Black Tuesday is fucking 21%. It's what are we doing?
Honestly, dude, at one point I probably had 25 bottles, 30 bottles of Black Tuesday.
Tenor Madness has the right idea. We could hire a guy just to drink the bottles, and I think he would be. He might do it for free.
Could you imagine? You're just like, hey, we have a bunch of high alcohol stuff. We need you to drink it for us.
This stuff we need to dive into.
We do. Yeah, we got to figure out a plan. Dude, if we do a planning show, maybe we can get some Patreons to help us figure out, hey, Patreons, how do we drink these stone beers?
You know what?
Should we
invite the fucking Patreon people over to drink the fucking beer.
I think they're all around the world. Even the ones that used to be in Southern California have moved.
The local ones, I understand them all. But yeah, that's the I could not throw those away. But the guy that took them away, when he came back to get some stuff out of our new house, he's like, yeah, I tried giving some of those bottles to my friends, but they were like, what the fuck is this shit? And he's a black dude. He's like, we don't drink this kind of shit.
Dude, the last time I split a bottle of Black Tuesday with my brother-in-law, we were in Cabo and we'd been drinking tequila all morning.
Oh God.
I'm not kidding. The next morning I woke up, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm fucking dead right now. It was awful.
Just
and it was
drink
back
the tequila alone.
Dude, the kids were 7 and 6, and I'm like, I have to try
John,
and
tell
be
Yvonne I said hi.
for children. It was terrible.
Tell Yvonne I said hi.
Hi, Yvonne.
He's like, stop talking to me.
Uh-oh. But yeah, splitting that Black Tuesday bottle was a poor decision.
Yeah, never drink Black Tuesday.
Dude
just never drink Black Tuesday.
My wife's like, hey, everyone's down at the pool. Do you want to go down there? I'm like, I can't even roll over in bed. No.
I always bring it to a potluck or something like that. I'm like, instead of bringing a case of beer, I just brought this one.
I used to do that
to the alcohol.
I used to do that with my uncle for Thanksgiving, but then I'd be the only one drinking it because they're like, we're not going to drink that shit.
Dump it.
That's weird.
Yeah, that shit looks like motor oil. Fuck it.
I'm trying to think of the year that was because we were drinking Modern Times Remember Devil's Teeth?
Yeah, I think I still have some of those.
It was aged in mezcal barrels. We were drinking bottles of that day. Yeah. And we decided at the end of the night,
look at the dust on the
Look at that dust, dude.
What year is that?
I don't know.
It's a newer bottle.
You gotta do some fucking.
This is one of the newer ones.
Yeah,
didn't they used to engrave their bottles?
Black magic to fucking figure out.
It's 19.4. No, so each one has a different ABV, so you have to look up the ABV.
Yeah, it's that. They don't just print it on the goddamn bottle like an adult.
No, they do. They laser etch it on the bottle.
I thought they used to engrave the bottles.
Yeah, exactly. They do.
Print it on the goddamn label.
Look on the not the neck, but the shoulders of the bottle.
Salmon shit's right. Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, that looks scary. I don't want to drink that, and they don't want to drink it.
It's a lot of dust.
I feel like when we were all 30, we had 10 other beer nerds that are like, fuck yeah, give me 10 fucking 20%.
Here's my biggest whale,
bro, and we all slept on a floor. But
here's my biggest whale I have is it's a blank Pabst.
Nice.
That's amazing.
That's fucking cool. I like that.
That's super cool.
Still full. Yeah. Never opened.
Chug it, dude. right now.
No.
Do it. Do it.
Chug,
do it.
chug, chug, chug.
Here's the other Nagel well in the house. It's the Garrison Greg Nagel edition.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's the one where they gave you a fancy hat too, right?
Yeah, dude.
Are you a whiskey guy?
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
Joe actually has a whiskey Instagram. If you want to check that.
I've been on a
Whiskey
real
is
rum
vegan?
kick
Is that what
lately.
it is?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. Look at that. What is that from?
Oh, that's like they did like an artist series kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
Like, what
Yeah.
year was that from?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
somewhat recent.
So, like, Joe, I
He
love
actually
whiskey.
sent us a media pack of that when I lived in Mobile.
Joe, I love whiskey too, and I drink. I drink spirits a lot, but like,
So cheesy, dude.
oh, Batvid Vision about 4 beat
hilarious.
glasses.
What else we got here?
Spoiler alert, Batvid Vision. Do you not have any 4 beat glasses from us?
Battery's
at all? Like,
dead.
we've done like 5 of them, but have you never gotten any of them?
Uh-oh, lost Greg.
Curious. To
Yeah,
see.
his
battery's dead.
Battery
My camera.
Oh.
What camera? Oh, you're filming with your like actual camera,
Using a
right?
Sony camera. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been going for almost 2 hours, so
This is one of my favorite glasses.
OG, man.
Little can one. I always wanted the 4 Brewer shirt that looked like the Pliny logo that Jason used to wear on Cheap Beer Corner. That was a fun shirt.
Dude, I guarantee I have some brand new. Like,
Do you have
in a
any of
box.
those?
Yeah, I do. I
Oh,
did
and
not.
My old
You-
black
he
shirt
wears,
that
like-
said. Oh, go ahead.
You wear like regular sizes too, so John's probably got yours.
Regular size.
No, like
I'm
for me, it's like, do you have my size? Like, absolutely, you don't. So
No,
I'm saying I had that old the black shirt that said 4 Brewers podcast. I think it got thrown in the dryer at one point. And I don't have it anymore. It's shrunk.
Oh, it was like 3 lines, 4 Brewers podcast.
And it had like the dude
Yeah.
with the there was like a gold miner on it or something. What was
yeah, it
that?
was Golden Brett. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was Golden
I
Brett.
don't, I don't know that I actually have a Golden Brett shirt.
I used to have that shirt. I don't have it anymore.
It was
I mean,
it was like a one-off I made a few 6 years ago. That you could just order on demand, and I think that's what Joe did. You just
all of
the
those.
print quality was not that great.
Yeah,
so.
the Pliny shirt was definitely a Cafe Press shirt, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That was a cool shirt. I like that shirt.
That was not a Cafe
Um,
Press. That was through the Octopus company. God damn it!
Octopus.
Like it's a legit like screen print shirt.
No. Screen ink or custom ink. Custom ink.
Custom
that's
ink.
what it
There
is.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The certified chicharrones, certified chicharrones. That one. Yeah. That was the
Yeah,
one
the
that
glass-
my friend Steve did a lot of that. Like he came up with the certified chicharrones thing, and like he was making that stuff for us. He's still one of
Are
my
you
best
sure
friends.
that was? I thought that was Jesse Friedman.
The 4B stuff? No, that was
but-
my friend.
No, Jesse made the reference of certified chicharrones, and then that
That was
guy
my friend.
put in-
That was my friend Steve.
No way.
My
I
senior
swear it
Mexico
was
correspondent, Steve.
Jesse, who was in the chat for the first 1 minute of the show, and then left.
He made the
Before-
most of it.
Before I go, I'm gonna try this because I told you I bought this on accident.
Oh, go
I
for it,
do.
dude.
I do feel like if we resurrected a shirt, it should
Look
be
at
the
this
whale
members
shirt.
only jacket.
The
That's
whale
amazing.
shirt was our
Any-
best shirt.
Is there any way you could record a beer review while also streaming live with us? Or would that be too much to ask?
I mean, if you told me how to do it, I could do it.
No, I mean
have
like
no
the way
idea.
you normally do it with your camera setup. You know what I mean? Like where you're just sitting
Well,
in the garage.
No shit. Joe, have you ever said
never mind.
come
What
bust a
low
move?
budget here?
Have you ever said on your show, come bust a move where the games are played? It's chill, it's fresh, it's Joe's Arcade.
It's Noah's Arcade. What does he
Nice.
start reading? He's like, I am a total tool. I can't remember what the cue cards are, but that gosh,
It's like this guy blows goats. I have
That's-
proof.
I have proof.
Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Joe's Arcade.
Ooh, this beer smells good. You would have liked this one, John.
Fuck you, I can get a beer.
So
then.
what
Hold up.
exactly is that? That's
It says West Coast IPA with Mosaic and Racao.
okay.
Racao.
Racao. Ka-chow. 7%.
That's
All right,
what
so do a
green
beer.
cheek
Just do the
parrots
beer
sound
review
like.
right now, like you're doing a YouTube video.
He's already had
shit.
that.
Gooseberries aren't real. This is ridiculous. Oh, that beer's good. Shocking. A green cheek beer tastes good.
How old is it? A week?
Is it
Maybe.
Team Old IPA? April. It's smudged. Dang it. I think it's a couple weeks old.
So it's old. So
yeah, it's super old. It's too old.
Yeah. Greg, are you still here?
Yeah, man.
I can hear him.
He's just.
Tell him I can hear him.
I'm here.
So what do you got
So
coming up
John,
on your channel?
John, there's that 51124 equals 1 or whatever. That's the thing I put in there. So see if that works. Sorry.
The Google Drive. You did what now? 5?
It says 51124 something dot wave.
Nope, I don't see it.
It's under 4B 51124 Greg. Hold on.
I see Jason's recording. I see 4B 51124 Greg, and then I see beers.wave and Greg from December 17th. So let me refresh. Oh, there it is. All right.
Yep.
Hang on.
Did that work?
Let me download it and listen to it.
More than 24 hours is too old. That's true. People always laugh, dude, when I say that in my videos. I'm like, this is old. It's Team Old IPA. It's like 3 weeks old. They're like, dude, that beer is really not that old. I'm like, I'm just kidding. It's not real.
It's a joke, yo.
Joke.
It's a reference.
It's a joke.
All right, I'm back.
Hey.
So our guy Batvid Vision talked about how he's became a Patreon during COVID. We're probably not doing glasses for everybody anymore. However,
yeah,
we have some, right? We have a couple like lying around. We should
Hang on,
mail
let me check
one.
this audio from Joe real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. I think it's working. It'll be fine. It's fine. Yeah, Jason, we have plenty of glasses. If we're gonna get into the glass thing, it's a very, very big pain in the ass to ship glasses because they break and there's a lot of packaging. And again, no shade on Jason or Greg. I did it all myself and it sucks. It fucking sucks to package glasses. And then you have to print the labels.
Way to go,
put them on the
Jason.
thing, you got to tape it, and then you got to deal with a post person who, when they come to pick up 25 boxes, they're like, "What are you doing to me?" And I'm like, "This is literally your job to pick up."
Like, I'm sorry that making you work.
Everything was a pain point with those glasses, except for when people got them and they were super stoked to get the glasses. That made it all worthwhile. So I still don't know. Like we talked about maybe doing it for a higher Patreon tier. I still kind of like that idea, but I got to look into Patreon to see if they have improved ways of verifying mailing addresses, because that was the other thing. I'd have to go through, and when you ship stuff online with the Postal Service, you put in an address and then they verify it like with their database. And if it doesn't match up, then I got to hit the person up and say, "Hey, this address doesn't vibe." They won't give me a shipping label for this. And sometimes I don't hear back. I have a whole spreadsheet of like data for people that have been confirmed, have been shipped glasses. It's a whole fucking thing. So basically it's a pain in the ass, and I'm still debating whether or not I want to keep it the way it is or change it to a higher level where I don't have to ship as much.
I'm with you on that, John. It is a pain in the ass. Maybe we can figure out a way where the company ships it for us or something. However, Batvid Vision, who has been hanging out with us here on our fucking reboot show and has been a Patreon, can he email us? Where can he email us? Can we send him one of the glasses we have sitting around? Just for Batvid Vision specifically, because he's cool and he's hanging out in the chat with us.
And I'll say this for all 7 people that are watching: if you want a free glass, send an email to johnholzerjr@gmail.com, and maybe you'll get one in a year.
Dude, you're not wrong. Shipping glassware is terrible. I decided to do that a couple years ago, well, a long time ago on my YouTube channel. And I was like, nobody's going to buy these. I immediately sold all of them. Like, oh shit, I have to ship all of these.
You got to buy the boxes, and then you do I do packing peanuts or use?
But you're right, dude. Like when you see people like checking in beers on Untappd with your glassware, like that's so rad.
It's amazing.
It is.
I love it. That's the payoff. But
yeah,
I was joking when I said send me no, seriously, send me an email like if you're watching this stream, and I'll send you a fucking. I don't know. Maybe
you
I'll
had like a
you,
fucking
info one of everything I have.
That alias or some shit. But yeah,
what's that?
I figured you had like an info@4brewers.com alias or some shit.
I don't care. It's my personal email. It's fine.
I think the last glass we did, Tenor Madness, was the green one, right? The green print one.
No, the last one was our faces.
It was the
our faces. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
That one still weirds me out. I have a couple of them, but I'm like, it's weird to drink from my face.
That's cool.
I normally drink to my face, not from my face.
I'm very proud of that glass because I was learning how to do vector art on my iPad with an Apple Pencil, and I totally fucking nailed it. Like
that's super rad.
It's
I was telling
JR.
Fuck it. We used to do our arcade podcast.
You don't want to be info@4brewers, John. You want to just throw your fucking real shit out there,
dude. That's all junk mail we get. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
I was just saying, going back to what you were talking about, we did our arcade podcast and we did a tournament out in Idaho, and we showed up and they made this big banner for it. And it was like the outline of the three of us on the podcast. And I was the only dude who wore a hat. And so you could see the one guy who had a hat on. I'm like, oh, hey, that's me. It was cool seeing it. But Jason was like, oh, it's weird drinking out of my face. Like, just embrace it.
Yeah. Even last time
drink out of your face.
He's like, you're drinking out of my face.
I'll drink out of your face.
Do it.
He's baby birding me.
His last words were spit in my mouth. Oh, you know what we didn't call out on that Brewers top list is that fucking Brewdog is on it somehow.
Yeah, they don't
aren't they no more? Or no, that guy left.
No, they just fired. The guy that founded it that was incredibly problematic.
He gone.
Left. Yeah.
You know, New Brew Thursday was supposed to do a collab beer with Brewdog in Scotland at one point.
Back in the old days, right? Yeah, I mean, there's New Brew Thursday, so yes.
Dude, that would have been fun.
Dude,
by the way, I got this one. Hand of Josh. That's what you got waiting for you, John.
Oh, from Highland Park.
Highland Park. Josh. Yeah. That's so funny.
Kai, old school friend of the show, also in my other beer Discord. I think used to work for Brewdog and is tired of their bullshit.
Yeah, James. He's not the CEO, but he's like the captain or lead brigadier or whatever the fuck. Like it's
the Techno King.
Yeah.
So. What a fuck off.
I mean, when I met him, like, because I'll give Brewdog credit. Like back in the day, they were really good at doing viral videos that were funny and got attention. And I was like, wow, this guy, like, he knows what he's doing. And then when he went to CBC, the Craft Brewers, no, not the Craft Brewers, Craft Brewers Conference. I think it was in San Francisco. And he was there, and he's like, "You're John from 4 Brewers," and like I was there with Steve Day, and you're like, "You're Steve and John," and you're like, "Yeah, you're fucking James Watt from Brewdog." He's like, "Yeah, you guys want to do a beer with us?" And we're like, "Yeah,
okay,
okay." And the idea we had was like, I don't remember it fully, but I think it was like people like submit ideas online for ingredients and stuff, and like we go from there, and they ended up doing that just without us. So, which is fine. It's their company, but
honestly, that is in line with every story I've heard about them, where they would like interview marketing people and ask them to give them a marketing pitch, and they'd be like, "This is very great. Thank you. We've decided to go with another candidate."
I guess, we got got by Brewdog. So
you got by Brewdog before anybody did.
Yeah,
all right, boys. Nagel's got to sign out. We'll see you guys.
All right, Greg.
See you, bud.
I'm all Greg. My wife left to a event, so I'm fucking.
I got a couple minutes left. I'm gonna finish this beer.
I'm off the leash, dog.
Look at you.
I got to order a pizza. Apparently, that's what Yvonne came in here for.
What are you getting?
Pizza?
Yeah.
We have Mountain Mike's here.
Oh,
again, I'm in the sticks, so I gotta get what I can get. I'm just joking. Mountain Mike's is
dope. I'm not in the delivery zone for the one near me, so
we went to a.
And my wife thinks the pepperoni is too spicy.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
We went to a local pizza place the other day, and I walked in, and they had a big sign that said, "We have vegan cheese." I'm like, "Holy smokes! Thanks for like doing that for people who don't eat or don't do the dairy thing.
So
She's like,
Green
yeah,
Cheek
people have been
does
doing it.
Green Cheek does vegan cheese pizza. What do you think of the cheese that Green Cheek uses? For
I
me,
have
it's
not
a
had
little too.
I haven't had
Go
a
ahead.
pizza from them yet.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, only burgers.
Oh, that's what I get.
Oh.
I get the fucking barbecue burger. every
Yeah,
time.
only Zool. Oh, actually, we've got the crunch wraps with no cheese in it.
What? They have that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The Hexagon Supreme has soy rizo in it.
No. Okay. Because I was just gonna say, I wish they had more vegan.
You got to get it
offerings,
with.
'cause
You
it's
just have to ask for no cheese.
Okay, I'll remember that. Yeah.
It's freaking delicious.
Okay. Because that's the one thing when I'm like, "You want to go to Green Cheek?" She's like, "Well, I don't want a burger and I don't like
Yeah.
their pizza." So
Yeah, you can do
their
the
cheese.
Hexagon.
You know how certain vegan cheeses get super melty and it's
Mhm.
like it's kind of sludgy or
Yeah,
not
it gets
sludgy,
super
but
sticky in your mouth too. Like when you eat it, like sticks to the roof of your mouth. I don't like it.
exactly. And that's the
Yep.
cheese. I don't know what
I had
cheese
a
they
vegan
use,
cheese that was like almond based, and it was like liquidy. The taste was good, but the texture was weird.
It was liquidy. Ooh.
Yeah. It was a while ago. But
They have come a long ways. Like from when I first started, like trying to not eat dairy to now, it's like it's gotten way better.
Yeah.
we try to do vegetarian stuff when the kid's here because he tries to not eat meat during the week. So it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
sure, we'll try not to eat meat during the week as well.
Yeah.
So not
Not
vegan
amazing start.
because
It's not the worst thing in the world.
I just generally use regular cheese, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? If you do non-meat and you don't do meat replacements, you actually save a lot of money. Meat's expensive and vegetables are not comparatively. So
Potatoes, rice, and pasta, cheapest foods in the world.
yeah, right.
You just live on that.
Dude, my wife will like eat just if I just make white rice with nothing else, she'll just like she would be fine. Like she loves it.
My brother-in-law's Japanese, and he eats the more rice than anyone ever, and it's just awesome. Like he'll just sit and eat bowls of rice. Just eats rice. He's a rice guy.
I don't love rice. I don't like a lot of little things. I think that's a Mitch Hedberg joke. Like I need a lot of tiny little things.
Oh, Mitch Hedge.
Kai calling out lentils. I like lentils. They're good.
Lentils are great.
Yeah.
I just want to tell Kai I got the email and I flagged it, so you will not be.
I did like a African like lentil and greens dish recently that was really good.
What does that say? Rice is furikake on everything is great.
Furikake rules. Hell
Love
yeah, dude.
furikake. Gosh, it's so good. So
shit
good.
Furikake?
It's like salty, kind of seaweedy-ish.
Yeah, it's a Japanese dry seasoning that has again seaweed and other stuff in it, but it's really good. I don't know if furikake is vegan or if it has fish stuff.
I don't think there's fish in that. Dashi has fish in it, but I don't think furikake does. Dashi is fish-based. Yeah, it's everything seasoning in Japan for sure.
It is kind of like everything bagel seasoning a little bit, but good. There is fish in it though. It's a dried fish, sesame seeds, seaweed, sugar, salt, and MSG.
Son of a bitch, we've been lied to this whole time.
Because when I searched if it's vegan, it was like a vegan take on Japanese furikake or rice seasoning. I was like, okay, well, if there's a vegan take, then that means that the regular one is not. Dude, there's so many good flavors that have fish in them that you're like, oh, Worcester sauce? Sorry, got fish in it. Fish sauce, I mean, that's not a surprise, but fish sauce rules.
Oyster sauce, you like that?
I don't love oyster sauce. It kind of tastes like just it's fine. No,
like
it just tastes like barbecue sauce, honestly, all the ones I've gotten. But fish sauce adds like a really good savory umami flavor to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we're four cookers.
The 4 bakers.
I don't bake though.
Me neither. I mean, I'll get baked from time to time, but I don't bake.
Hell yeah. But yeah, like I started looking at making like random like I got a Great British Bake Off book, And I'm like, okay, like let's make some of this stuff. And it's like, all right, you need a cake form and you need this and you need that. And I'm like, man, I need a closet full of fucking random molds and
You're like, nobody owns a spring pan.
Yeah, I don't need any of this shit. I don't like desserts that much. Fuck it. I'm just gonna make tacos.
I don't like desserts that much.
I'm not a desserts fat guy. I'm a savory fat guy.
I'm a salt guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a savory fat guy. It's all cheese and beer and fucking tacos that got me fat. I didn't get fat off of fucking sweets.
I mean, I kind of did because when I was a kid, I would dump like white sugar into my cereal. Like I get grape nuts and just dump sugar into it.
Grape nuts are so good.
When I was a kid, I would make
the bottom of the bowl.
I'll be right back.
When I was a kid, I would make a chocolate milkshake with chocolate milk and chocolate syrup and chocolate ice cream.
That sounds amazing. Chocolate's very good.
But I'm not a sweets guy. I'm a fat guy, but it's because beer and cheese. It's all
cheese
beer and
is
cheese,
good.
dog.
I mean, we're just talking about vegan cheese, but nothing beats real cheese. Like real cheese is so fucking good.
John, I know you love Del Taco. Have I told you about the glory of the Barstow Del Taco?
I believe so, but refresh my memory.
The original owners of Del Taco held on to all the Barstow stores when they sold the chain. And if you go to the Barstow Del Taco, it's like everything, like all the ingredients are higher quality. It's like it tastes like Del Taco, but everything is just better. It's like all the chicken is better, the meat's like higher quality and bigger chunks, and like the cheese is higher quality, and it's just like, and it's not more expensive in any significant way. It's about the same price. It's just like, if you're out that way for whatever reason, go to the Barstow Del Taco because you love Del Taco, and I do too.
I do. I eat it every day.
And they've been getting ruined by goddamn Jack in the Box. But
I see. I the only thing I feel from that is the price, because to get a fucking red burrito and a small Diet Coke, it's like $5, and the most of that is the Coke. Like it's ridiculous. But ingredients wise, and as far as everything else goes, for me it's fine. Like I don't notice a difference. I don't know what you're seeing.
I've noticed the burritos have gotten a little smaller, and like I don't know, everything. Like, I feel like they're skimping a little bit.
I feel like the burrito, they vary by whoever's making the burrito, because sometimes I'll get a small one, sometimes I'll get one that's like a lot of beans and no cheese, and then there's no. It's so.
Yeah, it's fair, but
location to location, I don't.
The Barstow one, that shit's bomb. It's like the best Del Taco you ever went to in Barstow. Go there.
I have been to the.
Don't drive to Barstow just
and
for
they use like the old school Del Taco paper, like for the wrap.
Yeah, and they serve it in like the flat cardboard boxes that like like In-N-Out. Like, are you going to be eating in your car? It's like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so 2 large pizzas from Mountain Mike's. With the like $7 delivery charge is $85, Jason.
Shit, it's rough.
Did you just say Mountain Mike's pizza is $85?
$85 for 2 pizzas.
What?
I might go to Domino's. It's just ridiculous.
All right, I just walked inside. I'm gonna have one more beer. Check this out. This was the one I bought on accident too. Secondhand embarrassment. This is what was that dude from New Zealand or whatever that came and brewed a beer with them?
Your video's fucked for me.
Yeah, Joe turned into full on fucking potato.
Oh, there he goes. He's back.
Oh, can you see?
You're moving at least now.
This beer?
You're moving. Nope. Nope. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Is somebody downloading a BitTorrent? Yeah.
What is happening?
All your bandwidth is gone, dude. I can't even see like you were.
I look normal on my screen. Shoot.
All right, you're moving now, but you're just a little pixelated. But what's the beer?
It's this beer.
We can't see the beer. Your video's fucked, man.
What?
Yeah.
What is happening?
All right, that's better.
Again, normal to me.
Are your kids playing a game online?
They're probably doing
online games don't use that much bandwidth.
Well, they do.
Are they on RedTube? What are they doing?
Oh no!
Can you see this or no?
I see it's a green cheek beer.
Dang it!
Hold very still.
I'm just
Shoot,
thinking of
like,
all
what
those
do
memes where it's like me, the family computer, and then it's like LimeWire just shooting the computer with a cannon.
Yeah,
What do I
exactly.
do to fix my camera? Because I can see you guys perfect and hear you perfect.
It feels
It's
like you have
it's
no
either
upstream
someone's doing
bandwidth.
something on your
Yeah.
network or your Wi-Fi is being funky because you're not close to your router.
No, my router is out here. It says I'm 100%.
Yeah, you were fine the
Dang
whole
it.
time. So it's probably the latter. Someone's downloading some shit. Now you look
I
like
gotta
the fucking
imagine.
anonymous dude.
My kids are beating off right now.
Oh, stop! I don't
Oh,
want to hear
sorry.
that.
I don't
I'm
think.
just
I think
saying.
we just got banned from Twitch because you said
I'm
that.
just saying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That I
There's
said
7
that,
people, and if any one of us, if
Bro.
any one of them fucking reports
You know
us,
what,
we're
Joe?
banned. We're gone from Twitch entirely.
Having second thoughts here.
but- Sorry. Dude, well, dude, everyone's like, "Hey, who's using your internet?" I'm like, "Well, I have 2 teenage boys. I don't know." I mean, I don't know.
Is our video looking okay to you? Like we're not breaking up, Joe?
I
How
know
does
you
our
guys
video
look perfect. I look perfect, and you guys look perfect. That's what I'm saying. It's weird that you can't see me.
Huh? Yeah.
We're gonna go to Twitch jail with that Dr. Disrespect or whatever. I
fucking
think he's back.
masturbating
I think he's
children
been
are
back
fucking
for
up
a
the
fucking
stream.
while. I don't follow
Dude,
Twitch.
The boys are killing us right now. I mean, at least you can hear me and we can talk to each other.
I mean, I'll give them credit. At least it's going quite a long time, so they're getting some points for that.
Dude,
You're
I'll
like,
tell you
hey
guys.
kids, stop all the downloading.
Listen, real talk. If I had what was available to them, what was available to me back then, I'd be doing that shit too.
Oh, it's
I'm just saying. Like you had to go and like, hey, does anybody have a VHS tape they can share with us?
I
No,
remember
I had
my friend's
I had the
dad.
internet then. It just took 5 minutes to download one JPEG of a fake nude of Sandra Bullock.
My friend's dad. I don't know if you watch The Sopranos, but they'd have posters in the strip club for the magazine Leg Show, and my friend's dad had a stack of that outside of his bedroom door. Like, and he was married and had a wife, but he just had like a fucking 2-foot tall stack of Leg Show, and I'd walk by him like, dude, how do you not like look at that stuff every day? Like, what are you doing?
John,
I don't need to look at it. I'm like, you're a fucking liar. Like, fuck you, man.
John's like, I fell in love with the girl at the Leg Show.
Dude, I'm going to see Blink July or June 30th. We're taking the boys to their first concert. They're stoked.
What'd you pay for tickets?
I got the pre-sale thing for city cards or whatever. It was $100.
Okay, yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I actually really do like Blink 182, and I've seen them several times. Blink sucks live.
Jason, you know what's crazy is I've seen them. So last June was my 5th time seeing them, and it was the best they've ever been. Like I was expecting them to be
there's
terrible.
nowhere to
No,
go
you're
but
right.
up. Because I
You're
saw
right.
them in like '98, and it was like, God damn, these guys suck.
I will never forget. We went in '99 to Chula Vista, and they were headlighting, and Bad Religion opened for them, and everyone's like, "Why the fuck is Bad Religion opening for Blink? Like, what is happening right now?" And
Because
they
Bad
were
Religion
so
knows
bad
their
live.
fucking role, man. They know where they belong.
But I know, but
Okay?
Bad Religion's so much better live than them.
Yes, they are, but they're not Blink.
Yeah, I saw their like they
true.
took over that Coachella headlining spot, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, this is mid as hell, and like the audience was kind of bored for a lot of it until they played like a couple of the big hits. I was like,
I'm saying
Yeah,
we went
I know,
last
wasn't that
year
good?
at Sports Arena, and that show was it was great. They
That's
were
good.
fucking
That's
awesome.
good to hear.
Yeah. So we'll see in a couple next month. We're going to see them at Petco. So
Not to
we'll
not to be a hater and try to fucking rain on your parade. I'm just like, yeah,
No.
they're not the best.
No, I'm saying
I do
I'm
like
just
Blink
saying-
a lot. They're just like they've never taken their live show that seriously.
No.
Like,
what was their thing? Crappy punk rock. They knew. Like they knew they sucked.
yeah.
I think it's more Tom that's bad. Like Mark and Travis, like obviously Travis is the best.
Travis is like the best at his craft. Like he shouldn't even be in
Yeah.
that fucking band.
He's like a step
Well,
away
he
from
should
like
because that's his fucking meal ticket right there.
well,
dude.
he's
Like,
a step away from like the guy that's in the Texas ZZ Top cover band, whatever the guy's just like Travis Barker is one step below that.
Dude, Kai said he's going to Bad Religion and Social D next week. Holy smokes. That'd be a fun show.
That's
Oh
cool.
man, that is gonna be a weird crowd of dudes.
That'd be fun though.
Social D, like I like Social D, but like they bring in some weird dudes. Like there's a certain like the Social D guys, maybe it's a SoCal thing because they're from here, but like Social D guys are like a weird Gen Xer. It's a certain guy, and like that's not a guy I want to hang out with.
Yeah, I feel like Bad Religion. I mean,
Bad Religion is
I am a complete Bad Religion fanatic, and I am progressive as fuck where it comes, to political stuff. But I think with Social D, it's not that because they're an Orange County based band, and typically Orange County people are not progressive. So
holy dude, Cypress Hill.
Tanner saw Cypress Hill. I've never seen them. Dude, that'd be dope.
That would be so fun.
Dude, there was a weed themed show that just came through in Ontario, and it was like just all weed acts playing in at the Ontario amphitheater, and I was like, I should go to that, but I was like, I also will be like one of 10 white dudes there.
I'm saying he said I'm still high from all this. I'm like, if I went to a Cypress Hill show, I would be the highest I've ever been. My buddy went to, remember back in like the early 2000s, they did the Up and Smoke tour with Dr. Dre. He went to that in Sacramento and said it was just crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
Here's the whole thing. Like, do you think they check you on your way in? Like, are they just like, come on, we know?
Yeah, I mean, you can get vape pens through the metal detectors.
That's true.
I've
heard that from.
I've heard that too.
Documentaries I've seen.
I heard that at Dave Matthews concerts, you can get a vape pen through security.
Open up your shorts and turn your pockets out, baby. Dude, did you guys see? Like, okay, so Fish apparently played a big show at the Orb in Vegas on 420, and like it like broke Drew Carey's fucking brain. Like Drew Carey was like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life." And then another podcast I follow, like that guy was like, "Yeah, I went to that show and I don't know anything about Fish, but this is amazing."
I've heard that. I'm not a Fish guy.
Nitrous, by any chance? Because that's very popular with Fish concerts. Like you get a big ass fucking balloon full of nitrous oxide, and yeah, that's a thing.
I never inhaled nitrous oxide.
You never done like
apparently it makes you high for like 10 seconds and very fucking happy. And no, Kai, it wasn't acid. It was definitely nitrous.
I bet it'd be pretty rad.
I'll be right back.
Jason, you've never done whippets before?
Nah. I didn't even do weed.
I mean, that's what that is. No, whippets.
Yeah, but I'm saying I didn't even do weed till it was legal. I'm a rule follower.
No, that's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. How do you accidentally go to Fish show? I think it wasn't accidentally. It was more like I was never really into Fish, but somebody said I could go see them on 420, and that seemed appropriate. And then they went, and they're like, "Holy shit, this is amazing."
Is my camera still all messed up?
You're still a little choppy, man. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
You're a little grainy.
Gosh,
yeah,
it sucks.
Something's fucking your upstream up, but it's fine.
You can hear me, so that's fine.
Hey, Kyle's here. What up, Kyle?
Dude, this beer that I'm drinking right now is fantastic.
Hey, Kyle, we finished the show like an hour ago. We're talking about fucking seeing Fish at the Orb.
I'm almost done, yeah.
Cool. Actually, wait, never mind. Because you're right?
I'm making what?
Burgers for dinner, right?
I can.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. I could kill a burger, dude.
Did you hear that? Sorry.
Yeah, Joe's making burgers for us, dude.
He just got done jerking off, and now he wants a burger.
Well, tell him to stop.
Your video still sucks. So
no, they got to stop uploading.
I don't know why that's happening. I'm sorry.
It's not during the show. It doesn't matter.
Do any of them do like streaming stuff? Are they like streaming as well?
No, they're both downstairs right now. They don't do anything.
That's weird.
They're beating off together?
I mean, they're brothers. They could, I guess.
I wish they wouldn't. I'd prefer if they didn't.
Let's see who's better at this.
I prefer if you can beat off together as your father. Beat off.
Oh
my gosh. Holy
that sums it
smokes.
up.
I prefer that as your father, he says. How dare you?
The post show might be better than the actual show.
You know what? Yeah, this is the premium shit that 9 people on Twitch get.
So I'm saying if you want to support us on Patreon, this is the kind of stuff you'll see in our planning meeting. So maybe not like to this level, but yeah.
But for the people that are hanging out, who are likely the people that do support us on Patreon,
exactly, yeah.
We're talking about we're setting up a monthly planning meeting where we figure out the shows for the month so we can have more organized shows. And the idea is that if we invite our Patreon people, y'all can help us shape those shows and figure out like what we're gonna do and have an influence on the show because you are our main peeps and you can be part of it, and that seems like it'd be fun. So yeah, let us know if y'all think that's a good idea. Email John at his regular email address, not the 4 Brewers one, I guess. Yeah,
it's just my name. Like you can just guess my email address. So
go on, Brett.
Did Kyle just show up?
Yeah, Kyle just got here.
Fuck, man! Like of all
He
the
said
people.
He said his family was at his work or some shit, and so
I
he
don't
had
fucking care, dude.
Wow, it's fucked up. I appreciate any fan that shows up. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, we might not be back for another 6 months. Like, take it while you get it.
We're incredibly inconsistent. You better show up when we're on because we may not ever be on again.
That's funny. Jason, remember we had a phone call because I was so pissed because like Matt had to miss a week, and I'm like, we cannot miss a week. We cannot. And like I was in Alameda, California, at 21st Amendment, and like we had to have a Discord call, and I was like, all right, I'm sorry. I'll be more flexible about release schedule, and yeah. And now I'm just like, 6 months, 2 shows a year. Here we go. Let's fucking go.
We're a biannual podcast.
Yeah.
No, I don't want us to be a biannual podcast. We got to do it on the reg because I don't hang out with that many people, and I miss you guys.
No, seriously, and like Greg's not exaggerating when people say, "Are you still doing the show?" Because I miss it. Like I get that quite often, more than I thought I would get it. So
Scott Windsor was like, "Are you guys still doing the show?" And I'm like, "I think so."
Yeah. I'm afraid to post on Patreon because like basically what happens if you don't post, people forget that they are supporting your show, and because they don't get charged on their credit card. And so if they see this sudden charge on their card from Patreon, it's like, what the fuck is this? Oh, these fucking guys, they haven't posted anything in a year and a half or whatever the fuck, and yeah, fuck them. And then we lose like
not posted, dude. We just got to be back.
No, I'm just saying, like I dread the fallout from posting a thing on Patreon that we charge money for after not posting for, a year and a half.
So hey, that show was worth $2 or whatever the fuck people pay.
It totally was, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, didn't you say it was like a buck for people?
It's either $1 or $3, and if you're still listening, we're changing the stuff you get. I still have a bunch of cheap beer corner koozies, so that might stay a thing. Because those cheap beer corner koozies are fucking awesome. Like, did I give you one, Joe? Like, it's a fucking old school koozie.
I have the Fine Malt Licky sticker on my fridge, though.
Hell yeah!
It's like a koozie that says cheap beer corner, but it looks like a Cheap Trick shirt. I don't know if you know the Cheap Trick logo, but
no, that was a good one. Yeah,
quite proud.
That was a winger. Honestly, I'm really excited about us doing CBC again. Like, I just love intellectually reviewing shitty beer. I think that's a funny concept. Like it's
you know what the problem is though is I generally love cheap beer, so I feel like I'm gonna be like, I like this.
So do I.
Like, what?
No, that's the whole thing though. But you got to find like bad stuff.
Is that a stone beer? Is that a stone beer?
Greg Cook, fucking beer Jesus from America, ran in and was like,
dude. Oh my gosh, that thing still bugs me. I'm like, nobody is confusing Keystone with fucking Stone beer ever.
It infuriated me the whole fucking time.
I was
I'm like,
so upset about
this
that.
is so. It is fully just marketing. They were just like, this would be a thing that we can use to position us as against cheap beer. And it was like the last vestige of that fizzy beers for wussies shit.
Yeah.
They're just like, it is 100% the last gasp of that. And then they
essentially
won
put
the
him out of
lawsuit,
business, right?
and then he was like, yeah, now we sold. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm fucking off to my island or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Greg's, I mean,
No,
I've been to his house, like
So-
one of his houses. The dude's fucking rich. He's been rich this whole fucking time. Like he's doing the CEO thing because he wants to run a successful business and whatnot. But it's not like he's dependent
John,
on Keystone.
nobody confused Keystone Light with fucking Stone beer ever on any planet.
No, not a single person.
It was the dumbest thing ever.
Yes, but it's a total.
He's just like, let me try this beer. Oh,
No, I know.
I
I
can't
think
believe-
I know.
I
Greg
can't believe I
cooked
drank
pretty
that.
well.
I can't
And
believe I
it was
drank that.
totally a publicity thing, while at the same time being
Yeah.
like a legitimate, like we have to defend our trademark thing. But he definitely saw it more from a marketing and publicity angle than anything else. The thing is, it backfired on him a little bit because it's like, come on, dude, like it's not that big of a deal. Like, yeah,
No.
it says Keystone on the can, but no one's gonna pick that up and go, Stone made a new beer. It's they made a new light lager.
But wasn't
No.
Keystone around before Stone was? Or
Yeah,
Yeah, since like 1990 or some
like
shit.
fuck,
but they
man.
made
Like,
the Stone part of it more, dominant on the can.
if anything, Keystone
Mm.
could be like, "Hey, you guys fucking jacked our shit. You called your brewery Stone." Like,
To
we're
be
a piece
honest,
They
I
could,
was
'cause
hoping
that's
for
what-
that. I was hoping
That's what
Stone
Stone
lost
would
the
do.
trade.
Like anything, if you
Yeah.
made alcohol and it had Stone in it, that's what Stone would do. Is like go after you and say, "Hey, you can't use that because we own the word Stone."
Well,
like-
what we learned is that now that
Or-
Stone American Pilsner is out, they were like, we need to move into this market, and these Keystone guys are going to get in our way because they will confuse us once we release this terrible beer that we put
That's a
out.
good point. Yeah.
So
maybe
it
that
was
the
just
thing.
it was just a crass marketing move, corporate
Yeah.
fucker bullshit.
Yeah.
it was terrible. I seriously, it upset me a lot.
It did really.
Yes, I did not like Stone doing that. I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. This is dumb. Stop.
I was
doing that."
pissed the whole time. I've been pissed on this show for years. That's why people are like, Jason looking to shit on Stone. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Tired of
it's
this
fucking
shit.
Stupid.
I thought it was annoying, but I
I
wasn't
didn't like it. I thought it was so
distraught over it.
dumb.
Yeah.
I had a collaboration, not litigation, the other day, which held up pretty well for being 10 years old. And I'm like, that was
Man, that's a throwback right there.
that was the vibe of the craft beer scene, years ago.
That
What
was
kind
a
of beer
was
Belgian
that?
beer.
It
Jason?
was a Belgian beer from Avery.
Yeah.
And it was because Avery and Russian River both did a beer called Damnation. And rather than suing each other, they released a beer called Collaboration, Not Litigation.
What if Stone
and-
collabed with fucking Keystone? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. No, just think like
To
in
make
an
like a
alternate
bitter ass
universe.
hoppy lager,
I don't know.
would-
Maybe that
that'd be
could have
pretty
been a
good.
thing.
like a
And they'd been like,
3.2%
what?
beer that just crushes your tongue.
No, think about it. Maybe it's like we'll do this thing and we'll, sit down at a desk and say, "Hey, can you guys change your branding a little bit? Because it does say Stone on there, and that could be confusing. But let's do a collaboration and maybe Stone makes a light lager with Keystone, and that's a whole funny, chuckles kind of thing." And
I mean, that would have been
And-
fun.
And that's the whole thing where like people say, well, if you don't defend your trademark, then you lose your trademark. So you have to. And yes, that is true. But the only option isn't hire your lawyer to send them a cease and desist and say this is done.
right.
This just happened recently in food. If you follow food, the fucking Momofuku guy, they bought the trademark for fucking chili crisp
That's
or whatever.
David Chow or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
David Chang. Yeah.
Chang.
And David Chang, and they bought the trademark for chili crisp, and they're suing another company for having chili crisp on their sauce. And it's just like, you couldn't like figure out a way to license it to them for like a reasonable
Right.
price. Like you
course.
could do anything other than send them a C&D. And like, the C&D is the laziest, shittiest lawyer way to do it. It's just like, yeah, I'll pay my lawyer a couple $100 and he'll send you a letter that says you're not allowed to use this, change your name, retool all your branding, change all the labels on your product. Fuck you.
Have you had the Momofuku noodles, by the way? They're so good.
I haven't, because I just generally don't like that kind of, like, it's like not, I don't not like it. It's just not my favorite kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm not a big noodle guy. I have a weird bite. I have a hard time biting noodles off. So, yeah, fun fact.
I learned something today about Jason. He's
he can't eat noodles.
I have an underbite, so I can't easily bite noodles off. So
don't send Jason nudes. You can't bite them.
You can send me nudes,
just not noodles.
Yeah, noodles. Show hog if you want, but no noodles.
Those noodles.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up for the live stream here. I just ordered $100 worth of pizza because Domino's site wouldn't load. So that's me in the sticks ordering 2 pieces for $100. And
Cody, that's true. I drank a lot of beer today.
Yeah, Joe, do this every weekend. It's not sustainable at all. Like, it's not.
This is what I do on the weekends, though. I do all my YouTube
yeah,
stuff on the
but
weekends.
Do this on top of like everything else. It's not sustainable.
That's true.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Especially when we would like stream at like noon, and me and Jason were talking about this earlier. Like, it's just all right. Now it's 3:00. We're done with the show, and we're fucking drunk. What do we do now?
I told you back in the days when I did my arcade podcast, it was Tuesday nights, and every Tuesday night, every Wednesday morning, I woke up. I'm like, I fucking hate myself. This is I can't do this. Just wasted on Tuesday night. So
anyway, yeah, thanks guys for hanging out.
Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you everyone who is still hanging out for fucking hanging with us. Like, we've had a very fucking rough couple of years. Like, we've a very sporadic couple of years, let's just say. Also, let's be real, a rough couple of years. Like, personally, show wise, we've all had a rough couple of years. And I'm excited for us to be kind of back.
Yeah, I feel like Joe coming on is like a fresh start, and it actually makes me more motivated to do what I got to do to get the show out there. Our website has been revamped, and which doesn't sound like a lot on paper. Like, you know, you changed your theme on your website. No, there's a lot more that goes into it than just changing the theme. Like, it's little.
Yeah, check out forbrewers.com. John really did a lot of work to make it modernized and cooler.
My goal in life is to be added to that website.
What's that?
My goal in life is to be added to that website.
Oh, you know,
it doesn't have to be now. No, it's fine.
No, I actually added you to the site under About Us. No, but I excluded the HTML from it until we announced that you were on the show. So if you give me a second here,
I'm totally kidding. Just kidding.
Nope, I'm doing it right now. We're doing it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Yeah, here we go.
For the third show fans, we're pretty third show right now. At least I am.
Yeah, it's we're having fun. It's fine. What's 9 + 4? That's 13. Yes, okay.
Yeah, it is.
9 + 4 is 13.
All right, let's go to let's visit the site, and we'll go to About. There we go. We're doing it live.
I'm just kidding.
I'm editing. No, I have to delete like 2 things. 1, 2, 3.
I feel like when I see world-class West Coast IPAs, it feels like a tag team somehow.
Publish. Joe is on the website.
Me and Joe are the world-class West Coasters.
We are demolition.
We'd have to get championship belts.
Oh, I'd love that.
Here,
can we get shoulder pads with spikes on them?
Dude,
I know that's not demolition. That's Legion of Doom. But...
Who wants to be Hawk and Animal? I'll do it. I'm down. John could be Paul Ellering. He's our manager.
What a rush. Was that them? Yeah.
Yes. They're all dead now, too. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're all fucking dead. All the 80s wrestlers are dead.
I'll say this too, Joe.
Hulk Hogan's going to live forever, dude.
On our site, like, we have a page for everyone. That's like a little summary, or like when Matt did it, he posted his stats, like his weight and his other stuff. But if you want to write something up, I can link that to it. But right now it's linking to your Instagram for where to get a hold of you. So you are on the site. If you go to the about,
look at me.
There you go. Joe's on there.
Wow, I just read my bio. I was like, oh, okay, that's
like that's still true. It's a
little weird, but yeah, okay.
You chose the pictures too, by the way. So
they're the worst. Yeah,
that's so Jason though. Like, I love you, man. You're fucking cool. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on, I think, May 26th is our next stream.
2 weeks from now. Yeah.
Tune in then,
or
guys.
Sunday, 2 weeks Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sabado. Oh no, it's Domingo.
That's on the Memorial Day weekend. So there you go. All right, I'm ending the stream now.